need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What up, man? The real Coach JB. My main man, Big Smitty.
Are y'all ready for this?
Ground like something to prove it. Came to a conclusion that it's Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side. Worldwide, we in your city. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle and get
In any metric, Coach, you cannot have Russell Wilson.
Nick gave me my first offer. Like, you got to have that store. You got to be marketable.
Hockey, football, baseball, then basketball.
Oh, I love this fucking show so much, dude. Are you mixing light and dark at 11 a.m.?
I'm elated that I can be able to coach, that I can be able to mentor these kids, and give them everything that I've learned over the last 20 years.
Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the games been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the games been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
You are now tuned in to the Coach JB Show.
Hello? Can you hear me? Derek. Man, God, I hate this dang phone line, man. I'm sorry, Jay. I spent all this dang money on this phone line, and the signal was horrible. I don't get it.
Guess what? All right, appreciate you. We got a new deal with Mint Mobile. I just saved your whole life in phone drama. Mint Mobile is now a new proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
Stop playing.
Your problem's been solved.
We got a partnership with Mint Mobile? You talking about Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile? Stop playing right now. Hold on. Let me Google this real quick.
You can try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get 3 months free when you use the promo code CoachJB.
Hey, man, I did a quick Google search real quick to make sure you wasn't playing around. They got plans as low as $15? They got plans for $30, unlimited everything. Speed, coverage, data, access to 5G, unlimited talk, text, mobile hotspots. You can talk in Mexico, talk in Canada, and they're built on the nation's largest 5G network. Are you kidding me, JB?
Hey, and everyone wants to know how hard it is to switch to your service. Big Wireless wants to think it's hard. They want you to think it's hard, Big Smitty, but switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your own home. Mint Mobile does it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. That's why the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty is proud new sponsor using promo code CoachJB. Try mintmobile.com. This is where it's at. We got it, Big Smitty.
So, hey, I'm switching over to Mint Mobile right now, JB. I'm done with this company I'm working with. They crazy. The line, it never works. The signal is out, and it costs too much money. I'm going over to Mint Mobile, JB, and y'all should do the same.
Big Smitty, I'm calling you right now.
JB, Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile, clear as day. I hear you clear. The new promo code Coach JB right here, 3 months free. Mint Mobile, try mintmobile.com/CoachJB and get you there free. 3 months off, family deals, all deals, short, fat, skinny, and tall. Mint does it all. Proud new sponsor. Much love. We'll see you later. Peace. What up, what up, what up? It ain't a slapdick party, but it is a party. We are at this Free Game Friday. It is Free Game Friday. Big Jeff Nadu joins us. It's Fired Up Friday. Our Monday special guest, E-Dub, Super Bowl champ Eric Weddle will be joining us today. Big Matt McChesney joins us because he's fearless, and it is Fearless Friday on top of all those other things. Shout out to everybody in here giving Big Smitty a shout out for his birthday. I forgot about his birthday. I don't do birthdays like that. Females trend tendency, you know what I'm saying? He texted me late last night. He was like, Coach, I don't know if I'm going to make it, JB. I'm at Titty Bar in the hood. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So he might have got a flat tire today. I'm just keeping it real. Smitty may have got a flat tire. If we had to bet, does anybody want to bet? I don't know. Y'all should just drop some super chats for him in case he pops in and we'll make a bet with your money. I don't know what we're going to do, but it is Free Game Friday. Smitty's broke. He needs some money. I don't know if Big Smitty has what JB has. You know what I mean? With that all night in Vegas, stay up, come on the show. I don't know if Smitty got that in him. I don't know if he, because I'm him, as y'all say. I don't know if Smitty's him just yet. I'm trying to groom him into being him. But it's his 30th birthday, y'all. 30. I can't believe what was I doing at 30? He's young, wet behind the ears. I don't know. He went to a California titty bar in the hood. I know where he went. One of my dad's favorite spots. My dad used to work right up the street from where Smitty went yesterday. He texted me like 2 a.m. He was at the titty bar. I'm like, oh, shit. Flat tire. So I think he got a flat tire. I'm going to bet he got a flat tire. I don't know what you guys want to bet, but we could bet. And if Smitty jumps on, you got to pay $20 or something. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to bet. I don't think he's going to show up. We're going to find out, though. It is Free Game Friday, Fired Up Friday, Fearless Friday, right here on the Coach JB Show with or without Big Smitty today, because it is his 30th birthday, y'all. So pound the like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. We down bad after the whole week's, timeout. They're just robbing us. Smitty broke. I get out the hood. He moves from the hood to the new part of the hood. So I don't know, Hector. We're going to see. Hopefully he can wake up. We'll see. TikTok, what up? We on Twitter. We on everything. Rumble. Shout out to all the folks on Rumble. We on Rumble now, man, just in case. We're over there on Rumble. Lot going on today. Let's get you to the topics of discussion real quick. All right. And we'll see if we can wake Smitty up, hopefully. The Bears, they're going to interview Kliff Kingsbury. That's going to start the show off. That's on the thumbnail. Man, oh, man, oh, man. I don't know what this means, but I'm hearing it means a lot of things. A-Dub, Eric Weddle is going to join us to talk about it. I think it could mean Caleb Williams is headed to Chicago. What do you think? We're going to break it down. Miami tight end McCormick is given a 9th year of eligibility. Oh, fuck. We're going to break that down here in a minute. I got a morning rant for that one. Make it make sense. RG3 and Jay Gruden are having major Twitter beef, and I'm here for it, as y'all say. I love it because everybody loves drama. It's funny. I really could give a shit less. But at the end of the day, RG3 is one of the biggest clowns on planet Earth, and I am here for the Jay Gruden. I actually played arena ball when Jay Gruden was coaching. I know some things about Jay. For the most part, I'm on his side on this one. Weinstein and Bill Dolan, owner of the Knicks, accused of some assault. We're going to break that down since we didn't get to it yesterday. Ex-Washington Husky quarterback, Mack. He's a true freshman. Austin Mack has committed to Alabama. Left Washington, of course, to follow Coach DeBoer. The Bills are finally eager to play at home against the Chiefs. They're finally going to play at home against the Chiefs. Again, though, they're asking fans to come help shovel snow once again. This franchise is worth $6 billion. Do y'all not have maintenance crew? God damn. We're going to dive into it. Coach Prime says a walk-on cost $50,000 and commends Shador over Bama players' tweets about getting Bama players to come over to Colorado. We wonder why they probably were allowed to go walk a runway. We're going to dive into it because I'm taking heat on Instagram and Twitter, boy. And I know Matt is. God damn, about our video the other day. This shit went almost viral. Caleb Williams' dad wanted ownership of a team, which explains the delay of Caleb declaring for the draft. You heard what I said. Caleb Williams' daddy wanted some sort of ownership in a team. It has become a blatant slap in everyone's face, dog. This shit is becoming ridiculous. I wouldn't fucking sign the kid. I'm just telling you right now. We're going to dive into it. Mike Tomlin says the fire has intensified, and he is back to standing on business. He is ready for war. Mike Tomlin said he's ready to come back hotter, fiery than ever, and can't wait for that one. And Jeff Nadu joins us later in the show. We're going to break down this weekend's NFL playoff games, overs, unders, picks, all that and more. And all that and more. But guess what? I don't know if Big Smitty's going to join us or not. Listen, he had, he went on a little titty bar, he went on a little titty bar and stuff. So, if I'm solo, I'm solo. I don't know. But anyway, without him coming on, I want to wish him and everybody in here should sing him happy birthday. I think you guys should wish him a happy birthday. It's his 30th time around the sun. Happy birthday, Smitty. Clap it up. I introduce my co-host as my co-host just in case he pops up later on during the show. But, we got to shout out our Far East Sider, our Ball State legend, our Fox Sports analyst. I got his wife to give me a picture of his backdrop, and as if he were going to pop on the show. And so I got his picture. See, look, that's his house, but Smitty's gone. So is he popping in here? I don't know, but we're going to see. We're going to see if he can pop in. But I got her to set it up to where we can show his house live and see the struggle if he does pop up. I don't know. But he's 30, y'all. When I was 30, I went to, I had birthday parties and shit like that. So, we'll see. But the Far East Side, horrible hairline, AR-5, goggle wearing, Ball State legend, Far East Side, Post Road, 317, LeBron hairline, Lamar Jackson enthusiast. I was showing the side. Oh, shit. Was that Big Smitty? Hold on. We just showed the video without him in there, right? Where the hell was that him? Was he on the fucking thing a minute ago? Anyway, Big Smitty, man. Rest in peace to Big Smitty. I hope he shows up and he can do something. Man, that shit was kind of scary, to be honest with you. But if Big Smitty shows up, happy birthday. Well, clap it up for Big Smitty. I think he should pop in if he ever gets in. And
what's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Made it in.
You fucking with me, huh?
I just got in, JB. I just got in. What's going on, y'all, man?
Why your glasses on?
You know why. You know why. What's going on, chat, man? Appreciate all the love, man. Happy birthday to Big Smitty. Your boy's a grown man now. No more games. I'm not arguing with JB this whole entire year. We just going to have conversation. I'm going to use my low voice. I'm going to be real mature, real thoughtful, real calm and cool. Shout out to D. Jones, man. Ruben, keep it 100. I see my homeboy Con and Shell. D. Jones, we need 2,200 for my birthday right now.
So hold on. You text me like 2 a.m. You was at a place. I know frequent, I was not a frequent visitor. I can't say that. My dad was a frequent visitor. See, back in the day before you were ever thought of, probably, that particular place, I'm not going to say the name of it, used to be like a rundown, what do y'all call it, ratchet? Mm-hmm. Ratchet, like mostly Mexican area. Mm-hmm. Then it swapped over. It changed like about 15, 20 years ago, it started to switch over to a spot people were going to.
Yeah.
Who said $13.99? I got major problem with $13.99. Why $13, number one? And 13 is a very unlucky number. $13.99 has to be the first time I've ever seen it.
You know what? I've never seen that particular number before either. See, did Smitty go to Sam's Hofstra? I will neither confirm nor deny if I went to Sam's Hofbra. I will never confirm nor deny that.
Hofbra, by the way, not Hofstra. Hofstra is a university in New York, but I know what Steven's saying.
Yeah.
Jada, D. Jones.
Yeah. Coach
D. Jones dropped somebody. You had somebody drop a 50 burger earlier this morning while you were asleep.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
Who dropped for me?
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. Y'all gonna make your boy take the glass off and start crying live on the show, man. Well,
I don't know who it was that sent 50, but it was somebody early before the show even started.
It's coming in crazy right now. Joe Accord, man. Appreciate y'all. It must be payday today. I know it's Friday. I know y'all must have got paid today, man. Keep it coming. Shout out to Roberto Dilva. Lord, that whole 50 is going to me. We're not splitting that. All this money y'all sending is coming directly to me because it's my birthday. Appreciate you. Damn, Lucy. Damn, Hector. Y'all going crazy right now. I can't even breathe. Y'all got to slow down. The money coming in too fast. I'm going to pass the fuck out. The money coming in too fast.
Cut it down. Percentage.
Egg square. Look at it. The JB is not stopping, JB. We can't start the show until they stop. Oh, my God. Another 50 burger. Have a few drinks. Jason, appreciate you, Jason. The 50 burgers are coming in crazy.
Write all this down. Take percentage out.
I ain't never seen as many 50 burgers in my life. Do we got 5 more? There's no way that could happen. There's no way that could happen.
It's going to happen all show long, dog.
Man, I appreciate the love, man. I know they love me like that, JB.
They don't love you per se. They know we hard down, so I had to push this so we can get back like up top. Pound the like button, subscribe. Oh shit! Hey, DJ be dropping a lot of money though.
Hey, that's my brother though. Like that's my. Put the fist in the air, DJ. Right now. Stop what you're doing. Put your fist in the air, DJ.
You don't even know DJ.
You don't even know brother, DJ Johnson.
You don't even know DJ.
Come on, I'm Darnell. That's DJ. I know so many DJs in the hood. Like DJ, we automatically family.
Everybody on TikTok. We apologize for the slow delay. Smitty's birthday today. Everyone's dropping him super chat. He's made a couple $100 today. We take a percentage out here on the Coach AB show. So Smitty gets 1% of all the funds that come in. So I'm having my associate over here, AE. She's writing everything down and filing it away. I
appreciate y'all though, man. For real, man. I did not expect that level of love. The show just started 20 minutes ago, man. And I see all the comments, man. MP, Brian Case. I appreciate all y'all for showing love, man, for real.
Hey, let's get the poll question right out the gate. Stephen Brunner, California native, living in Oklahoma now. He's one of those guys that he does he's doing the crackling, or what do they call that shit over there? The earthquaking, the earthquake over there, frackle.
You might have to Google that one. I don't know what that means.
Frackling, shackling, some shit.
Frackling or shackling.
Shit going crazy. I'm getting hit up on TikTok, Instagram, DMs, text messages on our group text. Smitty birthday. He's 30 years old, y'all. Shit.
The fucking holiday, JV. Everybody should be off work today. Like that's how special it is.
We got a poll question.
I want to hear it. D-Money.
Poll question. Is Smitty getting divorced today?
Shout out to my beautiful, amazing wife, man, Chanel. She's getting off work in about an hour or hour and a half, but she called me for FaceTime me at midnight. She knew where I was. She knew where I was at. I ain't got, I ain't lying. She said she ain't tripping. Go turn up with your fellas.
Where'd she know you were? Where'd she know you were at?
She knew I was at the strip club. What you mean? Like she knew it was, very transparent. I ain't got a lot of my woman. She ain't tripping.
If you can't go to a titty bar as a married person, either with your girl or without, you have a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
There ain't no way in the world that your wife should feel like you're going to do something and vice versa.
Right. And the one I went to,
I used to take her all the time. I used to take girls, not my girl because I really didn't have a girl per se, but I take girls to titty bar all the time. And they would bring girls, and we'd have all the girls come to us because they had the girl. That's what they do at titty bar. So take your girl to a titty bar, gentlemen.
Exactly, man. She FaceTimed me at midnight when the clock struck 12. While she at work to happy birthday. And I know she got some plans for me tonight. I don't know specifics, but I've been hearing rumblings. I've gotten a couple hints over the week. So, it's going to be a big surprise. I know one of my homies, man, shout out to my brother Sheldon Day. He surprised me last night. So real quick, me and the fellas yesterday went out to eat. We ate at Martin's over out in Inglewood. A lot of y'all probably don't know because y'all don't come to Inglewood. Y'all be scared to come to Inglewood. After we left Martin's, we went to a black-owned cigar lounge. That's why my voice is like this. Smoking sticks all night shout out to the Debonair Cigar Lounge on La Brea. And then from there.
Hold on. My boy owns Debonair. Stop.
Who, Antonio?
Come on, man. You don't know nothing about the Debonair. I got a locker in the Debonair. You should have told me.
No, the fuck you don't. Stop lying.
I got the code and all. It's open. So the Debonair is a place in LA that's open 24/7. So basically, if you have a code, you can go in there. If you're a member, you can walk in there.
$800 membership.
4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, you can go in there. And man, Netflix shot me at the Debonair, motherfucker.
What?
Yeah,
we gotta talk. That's my people. They got location.
Who I am, I think you forgot who I am. In the hood, we say, I think you forgot who I is.
Damn.
I was about to say, when you said black owned, I was about to cut you off, but I was like, he ain't going to the Debonair.
I've been there. Bro, I shot at one of my first interviews, one of my early interviews like 2-3 years ago during the pandemic. TJ Hoosh, Jim Jackson, who loves cigars, and Sean Merriman. I sat down with them. You guys look it up on YouTube. We did it at the Debonair.
I took Ray Lewis and Eddie George there.
Got you. No, I love it, man.
There's 2 Debonairs, by the way.
Downtown and right there. Yeah, I'm thinking about becoming a member because I just found out about it's $1,800 a year, or you could do it in one payment or quarterly, and you, like you said, 24/7 access. They got a VIP room upstairs, TV. So yeah, we had a good time there, and then went to the strip club. Man,
it's crazy. When I reunited with my daughter a couple years ago, we met there.
Really? Damn, that's crazy.
I had her meet me there and outside in a little where you park at.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I had no idea.
Shout out to everybody. Let's get you straight out the gate. We haven't even gave you the quote of the day. We got a loaded show today. Big E-Dub, Eric Weddle's going to join us today. It's Free Game Friday. Big Matt McChesney and Jeff Nadu joined us to give us all the NFL picks for the weekend. Emmanuel Marino, the one guy that's watched everybody do it, and now he's asking how to do it. It's always one of these motherfuckers, man. God.
Somebody coach him up, man.
All right, so quote of the day brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, and get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Quote of the day, Big Smitty. Human nature is like water. It takes the shape of its container.
Ooh, man.
It really is. It really is. A lot of you motherfuckers will follow a cat to the left at the stop sign instead of making a right, and it's unbelievable who's leading you that way. Open your eyes. Take off your sunglasses like Smitty and take off your blinders. You know what I'm saying? Make a right instead of make a left. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to Prize Picks. Use the promo code Coach JB. Be so good they can't ignore you. Belief. Be so good they can't ignore you. They can hate on you like they do me all the time. They want to cancel you and all that shit. But be so good they can't ignore you. They just gonna say fuck it. Here.
You too great. You can't do nothing about it. You can hate me now.
Contrary to belief, never regret anything that made you smile. Never. Think I regret helping Allen out get scholarship? You think I regret helping what major news is about to drop? I might be able to share it today, but I'm thinking about bringing the people on the show to break the news regarding one of my former players, Malik Henry. Can't tell you right now, but I'll tell you guys soon enough. Plus someone else even I helped out. It is what it is, but I'm the asshole. Whole question. Does Kliff Kingsbury interviewing in Chicago mean the end for Justin Fields? Does Kliff Kingsbury interviewing in Chicago today to be the offensive coordinator mean the end for Justin Fields? Why do I say that? Because that is the thumbnail, Big Smitty. That's the thumbnail, and we gotta wait. We got the well, he's no longer the bearded one, but he used to be. Fear of the beard. E-Dub, Eric Weddle.
What's up? What's
Friday,
up? What's up? Early rising shine.
I had to like pull this cat out of the bed. His 30th birthday. He went to his first titty bar.
He was late this morning. Hey.
I just got in about an hour and a half ago, Weddle, but I'm feeling good, man. Now I'm feeling better to see your face on a Friday, man.
Happy birthday, Smitty. Like you said yesterday, birthdays are special. You should be celebrated. Every day that you wake up is a great day. And happy birthday, my man. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel spoiled. And especially by the ones that are close to you, that you know that they love you. So happy birthday, my man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, Weddle. You see how he said that, JB? It was just so eloquent and thoughtful, and you know, I might have to take the glasses off for this segment because I might still be a little bit, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That's all good. Hey, to add in, contrary to belief, when you're good, you tell people. When you're great, people tell you.
Come on now.
Hey, I say it all the time. You know whose quote that is? Whose quote
Yours?
that is that?
I don't know. I think that's where I got it from. When you said it or wherever I heard it, I told my players that, and they ran with it for like 3 weeks. So
Hey, that is Walter Payton's quote, and his son Jarrett, who's been on my show a few times, good friend of mine. He'll be on the show Monday. We're going to talk about what I want to talk about with you right now. And Kliff Kingsbury interviewing with the Bears today as the OC. Let me just ask you what the poll question is. Is this the end for Justin Fields in Chicago with this signing? Because I got to break it down with you as a football guy, E-Dub. I got to break it down with you. And I want to go into it with Smitty, but this guy does not run an offense that fits Justin Fields. Like, you either have to run straight spread, air raid. They don't have a guy like that. And I don't think it fits Caleb Williams either. But the rumors are Caleb Williams will leave with him, come straight over from SC. As he was at SC with Caleb, blah, blah, blah. Writing on the wall. That's what they're going to use as a narrative anyway. I don't think Caleb fits Kliff, and I don't think Justin fits Kliff. But is this a telltale sign that this could be it for Justin?
It's definitely a sign if they end up going in that direction for their offense. I thought getting Greg Roman in there and maybe potentially going in that direction would be amazing for Justin Fields and try to grow him and punctuate what his strengths are as a football player, just like Roman did with Lamar, and now Lamar has progressed and get into a different system. Yeah, it's his 6th year, 7th year. Like, he's matured and seen the game. That Fields is still young, and why not get the most out of him as you grow and mature and develop. But if Kingsbury gets in there, then I would 100% think that Fields is getting traded. Another thing about Kliff, like, I know him personally. Obviously, we've had our run-ins, and I think he's a good dude. I'm not gonna. I try not to slight coaches because coaching's hard, and I've got a newfound respect for coaching at any level. The time that goes into it, and it's tough. Like, I know the game in and out, and there's still things that I mess up or have bad calls, and still trying to find ways to be a better coach. So I would say this: their offenses are basic Jane and very, very easy in some sets. Now, this was 2 years ago. I came off the street, and I knew every play that they were doing for a snap. So, hopefully he's grown and he's learned, but you never know.
Yeah, I agree. And in the leagues, E-Dub, I don't think people understand. You come out in 10 personnel, maybe a little 11, and you don't sprinkle any type of movement, any type of, nub tight ends, floaters, 12P, 21, under center. Everything's gun. It's very easy to dissect. And I don't think people realize it's harder when you got to deal with a little 21 and 12 and 22 and shifting and moving personnel around and come out in 11 but line up in 21 and shit like that. People don't understand. It's way different, like what McVay does a lot of, and a lot of shifts and personnel groupings. And you don't know what personnel. He could be in 12 in the huddle, but come out and line up in 10.
Shifts, motions, formations, personnel. Like that's just added time. Like people need to just to let you know, like the amount of hours I spent watching film is a full. You could say a 40-hour job in itself. I mean, even more so. So when you take your job serious and understand the tendencies and advantages you can get by knowing the formation, knowing the personnel, where the ball's on the hash, where the splits are, what foot's up, what foot's back, the old line stances, the running back's depth from the quarterback. Does his quarterback shake his hands? Does he go through double counts? Like, all those things you're studying throughout the week. And if it's simple, meaning I don't have a lot of personnels to study, I don't have a lot of formations, then I really hone in. And literally, I'll put it like this. When I watch a random game, so usually get a 4 to 6 game cut up of the breakdown from the, what the D coordinator is looking at. And he looks at obviously more film, but that's what they give us to study. And I go off of that, and then I randomly pick a game on Friday night. And if I could pick out at an 85% clip of what the play is going to be throughout a game, of a random game that I hadn't seen yet, then that tells me I'm ready to rock. And that's how it should be in the NFL. If you take your job serious, you want to be the best. Like that's where you have to make grounds, close the gap on these offenses to make sure you're trying to put yourself to play and make plays. So
I think Smitty and I talked. I think Greg Roman is the best fit in Chicago with Fields, with that receiver. They got more. Go get you another receiver and another tight end in the draft, in my opinion. Go get an O lineman, maybe. I think they need to do that. And then Greg Roman comes in there and kind of repeats what he did with the young Lamar. I think that's what Justin needs right now to be, solo. So what if you split the field in half? Justin's not ready to sit back in the pocket and dissect coverage and go from 1, 2 to 3.
Majority of the quarterbacks are like that anyways.
They're not like that anyway. So
the league is different now.
Yeah. So why not bring Greg Roman in? Sprint it out, turn it back, do some different things like that. I love the Greg Roman hire. Kliff Kingsbury to me would be the end of Eberflus and Justin Fields, and I just that's just my opinion, but. Moving on, I got to get your take, man. This is some funny stuff. Will Compton made a video earlier. RG3 and Jay Gruden. I know Jay, man, from the Arena League days. RG3 and Greg and Jay Gruden are going at it. It is very funny. I don't know if you have all the tweets, Bailey. Can you show how did it all start? I know McAfee started this rant last week. Basically, Jay Gruden came out and said something about quarterback play and what was going on, and RG3 came out and was like, "Really?"
Jay was commenting on it was somebody who played last week. Yeah, it was like basically like, man, the quarterback kept getting hit. Basically, and he was like, "Man, if I ever did this to a quarterback, I apologize." And then RG3 was like, "Really?" So they been going back and forth like nonstop every day. I love it.
It was Jalen Hurts, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
And then anyway, it comes down to RG3 doing a podcast about it and telling everybody what happened in 2014. And basically, Jay's Jay going at it with him, basically saying, you weren't good enough. Kirk Cousins was better, blah, blah, blah. Get over it. It's over with. And RG3 obviously being in the same world that we're doing right now, you're doing a show like we're doing right now. basically comes out and says, this is how it went down. Will Compton came out on Barstool today and was like, made a video about it because he was on that team and was like, the last thing is he said, I know where all your bodies are buried. And Will was like, look, you both know where both your bodies are buried.
Right. So relax.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to say the least. Does this help Jay get back in the league? Because I heard he was kind of interviewing in a few places to get back as an OC somewhere, and I don't know.
No, it's funny. It's entertainment. I don't. Both guys probably understand. Like Compton said, like I'm sure RG3's seen Jay do some stuff that he may not want himself to see or people want to see. So that's the reality. A lot of guys, you see stuff that's, I'll put a story like this that happened. I had a coach was out on a road trip Friday night. I see him at dinner with some of my players that I took out. I say what's up to him and the missus. He looked at me sideways, comes at me Monday morning and said, E-Dub, how you do that? That wasn't my wife. And I said, listen, man, like, I said, if you don't give me a heads up, how am I supposed to know? I'm just trying to be respectful to you. I don't know what's going on, so I'm sorry. Like, there is a code in a sense, but listen, I'm not perfect by any means, but that stuff happens and it goes on. So when they say I know bodies, I can only imagine what RG3 may be talking about. And on the flip side, it's stuff like, I don't know. I come off feeling like RG3 is so resentful of how his career went, and he thinks this and that, and I should have been this and that. It's like, it's the old adage, like RG3 was super talented and he got hurt and his career never maybe got to what he wants. That's life, and you got to move forward. And there's so often times where people say, I could have did this, or I would have done this if that's like, no, I try to stop people right there. I said, no, if you could have, you would have. So just stop. Stop saying that, especially when you're around the youth. Like, oh, I could have went, and I got this. It's like, no, just stop living in the past. Just be happy with yourself and what you're doing and be confident in that.
No doubt.
Sure,
I agree.
Sure. And I also wonder too, I'm not saying they're doing this because I think they really don't like each other, and you always got to question the motives behind people doing these like online beefs. Because we've seen a couple, more than one over the last year, I'll say, of these online Twitter beefs between journalists and player coach. And it just makes you wonder, like, are you really beefing or just for views? I don't know.
It's so like you said, is it clicks and likes? Is it fake? Like, I've never, if I had a problem with someone, I get on the phone or I've seen him face to face and we hash it out right then and there. Like, I'm not going to mull it over if it's something serious. Like, let's talk it out. If you got a problem with me, let's talk it out. If we need to scrap, let's scrap and move on. Like, but these they want to unfollow their teams, and they want to, instead of like AJ Brown doing that. And I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying, if me personally, like, if you got a problem with going on, go to the source and figure it out to help you or help your team. But doing all that other stuff does nothing.
We don't do that no more. We're too like, we can't wait to make a tweet about it. We really know the truth. And then you make an apologetic tweet and it's like, nah, that's who you are, not what you say you are. You already said it. Why are you apologizing? You should have waited and talked to somebody. All right, I got to ask you. There's a kid that just got granted his 9th year.
Unbelievable. He's taking a high school kid's scholarship.
More than one.
4 times he did.
Okay, this kid, so I'll give you a backstory. This kid started at Oregon in 2016. He missed significant parts of about 4 years, apparently, due to injury. And then he redshirted, and then he got a COVID year in 2020. That was 4 years ago alone, by the way. And It allowed him to petition the NCAA for an unprecedented 9th season. Now, he went out on Twitter and said, the pursuit of excellence has no goal line, calling 2024 his last ride, quote unquote. Now, let me, oh man, I gotta be honest with you. Can we do a make it make sense together?
Let's do it.
9th year of eligibility. I'm just curious as to what, like Weddle just said. He's not only taking one guy, he's probably taking several opportunities, not only from high school, but JUCO players, because JUCO, you only get 2 years to play when you leave a JUCO. So your time's already limited. What the hell is going on, NCAA? You can ban a kid from competing. I just want to be clear. At North Carolina earlier this year for a transfer, he had to fight for his life, finally gets half of a season at the end of the year. You can ban him for that, but you can give a kid a 9th year, which is, I think, only setting this kid up for failure, particularly this kid, plus a bunch of other kids. What a mockery this organization, the NCAA, I call the non-caring assholes of America, is. What do we do? What are we doing here? This kid, I'm not saying, Weddle, that he should go get a job and all this shit that I hear on social media. What I am saying is, though, like, we got to start being honest with some guys, man. I mean, 4 years ago was probably it. After 4 years of injury,
he damn near 30. He almost my age. He's still in college.
Was he at the titty bar with you last night?
I saw him there in the back. Like, that don't make no sense. I'm joking. That don't make like 9 years in college. That's a full-blown career. Like,
he should have 2 degrees and a master's.
Yes, in a house.
At least.
And a kid. Like, he should be starting his life right now.
Now, Weddle, the flip side is going to be the people that, oh, you're a hater, JB. Why not? Why not just stay in college? And why not play? Like, there's so many ways to address that. What is your first one? I know you just started off by saying he takes some scholarship from possibly some of your players, but players across America. There's 6,500 plus 11-man playing high schools in America. You do the math on that and times that by whatever, 3 programs times 50. Let's just say 50. Or you used to be almost at 1 million kids competing across America in 11-man football. Now it's dropped, as lowest participation I think we've had. But what do you do when you see a kid get a 9th year after you tell certain kids they can't play, but certain kids you can get almost 3 scholarship runs? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I have 2 sides of it. I say, hey, it's time to get your life, go get in the real world, get a job. Like, enough is enough. The dream is done. The dream was done 6 years ago when you got injured. When you get injured in college, if you're not superior athlete, football player, usually your career is done. I mean, Smitty could attest to that, unfortunately. Yeah. And if you're not like a top specimen, that's just the way it is, and it happens every year. But on the flip side, if they're going to grant you another year and pay for college and you're going to use it to your advantage, then it's hard to, if he's not being smart about it, he should have 2 degrees, a master, like I see taking advantage of that as well, if they're just going to continue doing it. So, but me personally, it's time to get on.
We got people like, Fat Keith in the chat. This is the thing. He says, I have no problem with him pursuing. He spelled pursuing wrong. So you should have pursued additional education, Fat Keith. Number 1. Number 2, he asked me, why do I have a problem pursuing education? I don't have a problem pursuing education, but stop giving these cats a pass and stop defending them. Do you really think that he's going back to Miami for a 9th year to go get educated? Stop it. These kids don't go to school no more for college. They go to school for football. That's period, point blank. This is what it is. It's a mercenary business. They're not going there to do you think they'd be picking the schools because of their degree plan, what they offer? Do you really think that's what's going on in a home visit? It used to be when E-Dub was playing, when I played, it used to be, hey, man, what do you want to major in, son? We got it. It's the best possible major for, especially for football guys, quote unquote. We want to get you through, Now it is not even being mentioned. And I'm talking to D1 buddies of mine that are coaching like JV. We don't even mention education no more. It's not even a mention in the home. To me, it's sad. I think we've lost, the fabric, like Tank Johnson says, we've lost the fabric of what we used to do here. And it's kind of sad when we're just saying, like Deion just came out. I don't know if you got to see it, E-Dub, but he just said this on RG3's, ironic enough, show.
Shadur's out there recruiting Alabama players. What's your pitch to those Bama players who are thinking about going to the portal? How are you going to get them to come to Colorado?
I texted him, man, you crazy. That's what I texted him when I saw his tweet today. We got to win, man. We got to win. I mean, that's what he's on. But you talking about probably our best recruiter is Shador and Trav. Kids want to play with them. They want to get down with them. That's why the whole offensive line has been changed. It's a lot of movement, but it's a price tag on everything nowadays. It ain't just a kid, man. They need to just jump in the portal with what they cost.
Hey, 100,000 here, 50,000 here.
50 get you a walk on these days.
50 grand to get you a walk on, he said. That's crazy. This is getting out of hand to me. I don't know. When is it getting fixed? Or is it ever? This is it right here. That's why Nick Saban walked away, in my opinion. T. Rich's opinion. I think that's kind of was the boiling point. Like, this is a no-win situation for coaches, especially for guys like my age. I'm not chasing this around. We've lost the fabric of what the sport means. We can't really develop kids into men anymore. Like, if I can't have my kid at Alabama for 4 years, how can I develop a Julio Jones? Because Julio would have left probably after his freshman year, like T-Rich said, if he wouldn't have had a Nick Saban, and he probably wouldn't have made it. And there's only a few guys that really start as freshmen in this thing that make it and have a huge NFL successful career. They need the red shirt, E-Dub. They need the gray shirt. They need the maturity. And I don't think they understand it at all. And if they don't start, they just transfer now. And it's like, we lost the fabric.
Man, no, I agree with that as well. Like, listen, I don't have a problem with players getting paid, but the transfer portal to me is the bigger issue. We talked about it so many times on the show. Obviously, I just think the combination of both is lethal, and we're seeing the early stages of it. And I don't know how it gets better unless rules change, and I don't know if they're going to change the rules. So I think this is just what it is. And as a coach who's currently coaching at the college level, you either adjust to it or you move on, I guess. Like, that's the only option you have, really. If you want to be successful, you have no choice but to, play this game, so to speak. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
E-Dub, next topic before you get out of here.
Thank you. I'm over talking about that type of stuff.
I know. Here's a new topic that's only going from what I say. I'm the guy on the porch yelling at the clouds. This is something that's why we have the problem we just discussed. The helicopter dads of the world and the people that just want the bags in college. Now we've had this discussion. Take a listen to this one.
Process is Caleb Williams waited, it seemed like, to the last second to process his papers. Was there anything going on?
No, I think his dad had some thoughts on how he thought this should work.
What do you mean?
I don't know. There was always chatter about, like, can we get ownership of a team and process? It's just a lot of stuff where it's like, the NFL doesn't
around
work
the
that
block
way.
a few days.
So they thought there was a leverage play in him.
I don't know.
In going pro.
Rumors are his dad said he wanted some sort of hand in a ownership of wherever Caleb was going, and that's why it took long to declare.
That's nuts.
I'm trying to figure this out. Like, it can't be just all chatter, because he did wait until the last possible day to declare for the NFL draft as an underclassman. So he was going to come back or he was going to stay. It's not just rumors, keep it 100, because you don't wait that long unless you're negotiating something, as if we've heard that he said, we want to make sure that Justin Fields is being traded before we declare. So that's why I say, if Kliff is going to interview, ironically enough, today in Chicago, Caleb declared the other day, like, what the hell's going on? Is this a telltale sign of what's happening in Chicago? Caleb, Kliff, all tied into one here with his dad.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, I think so, honestly. I mean, the fact, it's not by accident that they're interviewing, Kingsbury. It's not by accident that Caleb waited this long to declare. Like these things, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. And I think they were waiting to figure out some sort of clarity or get some information on the Bears situation or the coaching situation or Justin Fields. I think it was a few things they wanted to get clarity on before they made those decisions. And I just think now in the world of NIL, I think it's like changed the minds of everybody, even parents obviously included. So where now, even when you're going to the NFL, like it's all about like leverage now, right? And it's like, okay, everyone's hyping up this kid to be like the next great thing. You know, the media members, people are saying like it would be crazy not to draft, you know, Caleb Williams. So as the father, maybe he is really out here saying like, okay, well, we should try to get everything we can out of a team. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the bag is going to come with it because you're a quarterback and getting drafted number one, that's going to come with it. But maybe he's trying to I don't know, change the narrative. You know, LeVar Ball was kind of that dad when he first came, when his kids were getting drafted with, LaMelo and all those guys. And it was a little extra at the time. But again, it's a leverage game. And I just think that I wouldn't be surprised if his dad was really trying to get some sort of ownership either for him or his son or both, because he understands that right now they have somewhat of power.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what is the motive of the dad? Is he supporting his pops, or is he supporting Caleb? Is he looking for something for him? Sometimes that's the case.
Edub, not to cut you off. Have you seen this yet? Have you faced this yet at the high school level? The dad that says, "Start my son, or else," or I want to work towards getting a bag, or any of that.
And I tell them to take their kid to a different high school.
Yeah,
I mean, I lose out of kids every year because I won't promise them jobs or varsity. You have to go earn it here and show me and show your teammates, and more so than that. So it's a crazy dynamic. Whether it's true or not, Caleb's got his chance to write his story. He's making it a little difficult, some of the things that he's done, but it's you better understand the league that you're going into. It's a grown man ride or die. Like you got guys that are providing for their families. Like this is all they know. So if you're not putting in that same energy and effort to be the best with them, you're not going to last.
Yeah.
At what point, my point is, and Tank Johnson and the other people that come on here, we're like, where have we lost the humility of this thing that the NFL is like a gift to the football gods, from the gods, and we are a beneficiary of that gift? Like, when are we going to get back to where, that was like bigger than life, meeting an Eric Weddle for a seventh grader. Edub wins a Super Bowl and a seventh grader sees him in the store. That's like huge. Nowadays, I could DM Eric Weddle. He ain't shit. Like the social media world has changed the game. They think they can really talk to LeBron James on social media. So I think we've lost the luster or the like what it really means to make it. That one percenter. I don't think it matters anymore. It doesn't hold any weight anymore to these kids coming up, seeing it. They're like, it's whatever. There's TikTokers that are more famous. Right. So I don't care about playing this position. I don't even care about who played the position before me. Like, these kids can't tell you who Eric Dickerson is and who Barry Sanders are. To me, that's a fundamental problem, man. I don't think the kid's ever going to – I don't think you can be great at anything. Writing and journalism, science. If you don't know who Albert Einstein is, I don't think you're going to be the greatest ever scientist. Like, I just don't – I don't think that – I think it's something to it. And I don't think these kids really give a shit anymore. That's just the truth.
I think there's some truth to that. And, I try to – every so often I try to tell my guys, I ask them who their favorite college football team is, who their NFL team, and, they start spouting off. And then I have kids that say, I don't have one. And then they say, well, I don't really watch football. And then that's how you get better. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Watch your position. I remember growing up, it was in the winter and spring when football season's done, it was KCal 9 watching the Lakers play. And then on Sundays and Monday night, I was sitting on the lap of my pops and watching football, whatever game was on. So that's what we did. But we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. We didn't have video games. So to sit here and say, like, I wouldn't be doing that, I would probably be lying to you. But where is the direction? Where is the boundaries? That's what's lacking for these kids. And then now everyone thinks that they've been told since they were 8 years old that they're going to go to the NFL. That's what I want to do. Not understanding how hard it is to let alone get a scholarship than to go to the NFL. But no one's honest with these kids anymore. Like I get parents mad at me because there's nothing materializes with their kids. It's like, your kid isn't good enough. Your kid isn't good enough to play Division III. So now the realization, I think, for some parents are that my kid's not going to do what I dreamed of him to do. And a lot of parents have a hard time with that. Like, that's why I try to tell my kids, like, there's great things that await. It's not just sports. It's not just this and that. It's whatever you want to do and go work hard for it, because it's hard. It's hard. Like, my son, as good as I think he is, it's going to be 1 in 100,000 chance for him to get a scholarship. That's just the reality of it. You got to be that great. You got to stand out that much. You got to get great grades. You got to do all this other stuff for that to happen. So I just want to be real with everybody and say, like, you know, be thankful that it does happen, because it's very minimal when it does.
No doubt. Cole Beasley came out and has been on fire on Twitter and said, it's color on nails. He said, what's up with all these dudes painting their nails nowadays? That ain't it. And Kenny Stills came out. And he's like, it's color on nails. That's like someone asking, what's up with all these dudes getting tattoos? And then Cole said, I disagree. Tattoos tell a story based on an image you get. Painted nails have no image. What exactly are you expressing? Because I can only think of one thing. And people are coming out attacking his hair and all this shit. He's like, I disagree. Basically, he's like, apparently Jesus had long hair. He's going at it with folks. Is there any truth to drafting a kid now? And you got to play that role in the GM business for a minute. Is there any truth to that in the room? Like, hey, in the war rooms of these NFL franchises, hey man, I don't know if let's just say Bill Belichick was still the head coach at the Ravens. I don't know if Belichick wants a guy paints his nails. Is there any truth to that at all? I know I wouldn't. I know I'd have an issue. I'd tell my GM, listen, man, I need a guy that's going to carry us and be nutty Matthew Stafford, break his shoulder and play. Is there any truth to this at all as far as who we actually evaluate? Like, not just per se the nail thing, but just character, of course, character, everything that goes into this evaluation.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny and comical, these things. Like, I would 100% ask, why do you paint your nails?
Me too.
How does that, what does it mean? Is it meaningful to you? Please help me understand. I'm a little old school. Help me better understand you as a player, if I'm going to coach you, if we're going to draft you, just so I know. Are you serious about this game? Are you serious about being the best? Are you serious about being the face of our franchise? There's so oftentimes, and I've tried to tell GMs this, how to get through. Guys prep for months for these meetings. They know exactly what to say. They've been coached up how to talk, what to say, what not to say. So you gotta put them on their heels a little bit to get the truth out of them. And I respect the kids more for the truth than the fake facade that they all put up just because they want to try to get as high as possible. Like, you got to cut through that, because if you're gonna get a guy that's not all in at that level, your franchise is doomed. Yeah. And there's nothing against that, but just for the sake of Sean Strickland, just saying what he wants to say, how can anyone in the three major sports say what they really believe nowadays? Like, teams get killed when you hear, are you gay or not? Or, why do you paint your nails? Or do you, like, all these fringe questions? Like, it doesn't matter but it does matter. And you can't even ask those because of the fear of it getting leaked out. The player goes like recording head coaches in
meetings. It's like, yeah.
And then telling Dion, like, guys, are you not smart enough to know that they're probably going to do that? So, but why are you even worried about the other school? There's just so many different layers that at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm an owner or I'm a GM of this team, I'm doing everything I can to make sure this kid is going to do everything he can to be the best and help the team win. And if not, then I'm not drafting them. But I'm going to go about it the right way. And I'm not saying anything's bad of painting your nails or if you like guys or not. Like, that's your thing. Go ahead. But we need to know those types of things.
Yeah, I agree. You can't ask anything to find out if this is the guy that fits my mold anymore. Like, remember Gruden had that show where he'd bring you in and break down film with you and stuff like that?
Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, though, when you have these personnel questions. Like, I want to ask character questions. We're gonna do a background check anyway. Like, I get calls about what my kids did in 8th grade from NFL security when they're drafting a Jermaine Johnson or whoever. They're gonna, hey man, we got this ding that when he was in 8th grade. Do you know anything about it? I'm like, no, I don't know nothing about it. They're gonna background check you. The NFL security is former FBI agents. Like they have legitimate people up there. They're gonna go through and look through all your stuff. So it's just interesting, man. It's just so PC nowadays. So it's tough to ask.
Well, I mean, people in the chat are like saying, like, it's just typical stuff. Like, you know, oh, you can't wear earrings because that means you're gay. It's like, that's not what I said. It's understanding the dynamic of a team and understanding how you fit as an organization, as a coach, and as a general manager. So it's on you to make sure that fits. Now, the player, we don't care. Okay. I'm talking from a GM hat or an owner's hat, running a business. Okay. It's not all, you can't just have every waking life in a locker room. That's just not the case. So that people just don't understand that. So it's just understanding those decisions matter. Those personalities matter. You got to make sure you get the right fit in the sense of how do you mold a great team? That's why great teams win. Great organizations do the right thing. So, it's just, you know, I don't really care at the end of the day. You can paint whatever you want as a teammate if you're going to go give it your all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you look like, what you like to do in your bedroom. I don't care about none of that. I don't care what you look like, along with Coach Mayo and that whole fiasco. Like, I don't quite understand the point he's trying to make. Like, I get it. Smitty can attest to this more than anybody, but we all go through certain things. Like, I got told from day one that I ain't going to do nothing because I'm a white guy that plays football. Okay? So I've been against everybody.
In the secondary, to say the least.
So, but, you know, and did I get called names? Yes. Did I get beat up? Yes. Out of the bus stop, running home. Okay? So that stuff happens. So I just don't like it to be brought up in the setting of, the locker room is so sacred, and those guys, like, I have so many best friends. I got more brothers and Mexicans that are in my circle than I do white guys. I feel more comfortable being around black people than I do white people. So to sit here and say and put these put these statements out there just because of color of skin is just so ignorant and dumb that if people just get to know somebody and realize what they really are, then you're not even thinking about all the other negativity. So I gotta go. I got 1 minute. Gotta get these kids out to school. But that was
that was a mic drop right there, though. Well, I appreciate you on that, man. That was beautiful.
Hey, you know, you're Ravens. You're wearing the hat tomorrow. Texans. Does CJ Stroud have any shot?
He does. He does. I'm not no denying that. One road team is gonna win. It always happens. What road team is gonna do it? I don't. Obviously, I don't. I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous because of the way the Texans are playing, the way CJ Stroud has played all season. He's incredible. And then having 3 weeks off, I'm a little nervous. Okay? But I got the Ravens, obviously. I think it's going to be a close game. And then the next one.
Packers-Niners?
Packers-Niners, I'm hoping for an upset because the Niners fans are Niners fans. And, you know, We had to end their season 2 years ago, so you know me, gotta go with the Packers. Even though I don't think it's gonna happen, I think the Niners will win. I think the best bet for a road team is either Tampa or Kansas City. I don't think people are getting on Tampa. The Eagles were playing horrific ball at the time, so really, how good is Tampa?
Yeah, I know.
I'm picking Detroit. I'm going with all 4 home teams: Buffalo, Detroit, Frisco if I'm betting, but I want Green Bay and the Ravens.
Yeah.
E-Dub, it's a pleasure. I hope I see you back Monday.
I'll be there, yeah.
Throughout the Super Bowl, and then we'll talk. I appreciate it.
You got it. Happy birthday, Smitty.
Thanks, my guy. Appreciate you. Glasses back on.
Oh, fuck. We got a lot going on, man.
You all right?
Woo, four home teams. 4 home teams. Smitty put the glasses back on. We got Matt's not going to be able to make it on. We got Jeff Nadu joining us in a little while, about 45 minutes, talk about all the games and break them down specifically. We could even show some film because I got film on these 4 playoff teams.
All right.
So, we're gonna be interesting.
JB, real quick, me and you got to start a beef later on this year. Like, we'll plan it. We'll meet up about it. And then on Twitter, you just cuss me out on Twitter and I'll respond and we'll build it up. I'll be off the show for a week to make it seem like it's a real thing. And then boom, that next Monday we promote it. Smitty's back on the show. They're going to face off and figure out what's going on. Break the internet. 10,000 views on the episode. Boom. I think that's what people are doing. I know that was random. I was still thinking about that RG3 little topic we had earlier, and I just think it's all a facade. I feel like hey, coach, hey, man, take a shot at me on Twitter. I'm going to go back at it, and then we're going to go back and forth. We're going to blow this thing up. We're going to go viral. Yeah, let's do it. Ever since the Cat Williams thing then blew up on Club Shay Shay, now everybody want to start arguing and beefing. This ain't no real beef. You from Compton, JB. You know what real beef really is. I'm from the hood. I've seen real beef. All these little social media, all these rich motherfuckers.
Well, there is no more such thing as real beef. That's the problem.
Yeah, man. Just everybody get talk.
There is no more real beef, though. That's the problem. The beef is on social media because you know you're not going to get slapped in the face.
You're safe.
That's what it is. There is no more real beef. I think real beef has gone out the door. That's why we got low testosterone 17 to 21-year-olds running around this motherfucker. That's why I think we got, a lot of shit going on. So, shout out to DJ Johnson.
Oh, no. Didn't he send 100 earlier, though?
Yeah.
DJ, you better slow down, bro. Hey, you might be my favorite supporter. And if you throw in another 50, I might have to lead the show.
It's only that'd be $200, Benny. You need $200 enough?
Who in the chat sending $200 though?
No, I'm just saying. Oh yeah, but you ain't got to leave for $200.
Yeah, I might leave the whole show for $200. Black people from the hood. Hey, $200, boy. We make that stretch.
Yeah, I get some Jordans.
Flip that. Get
we got a lot on the docket here, man. Ex-Huskies quarterback Mac follows the board of Bama. Another kid in the portal. I'm like E-Dub, man. It's kind of exhausting, dog. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it all year. I just think it is what it is at this point. And I mean, and to this particular topic, if I went to a school for Coach JB and Coach JB gets a better opportunity and leaves, a lot of times those coaches will bring on or try to bring on the players that they once recruited at the other school. I remember at Ball State, our running back, shout out to my brother Quake. At the time, he was lowly recruited. I don't know if it was grades or what the situation was, but I think at first he was committed to Elon or something like that. And my head coach at the time, Pete Limbo, I think was at Elon. And then he got the opportunity to come to Ball State. So Quake came to Ball State. Like those things happen. So I'm not really mad about this particular example. Because when you commit to a school, you are right. It's about football. It's also about your major. It's about location. But it's very much about that coach as well. That coach is going to be a father figure, not a leader. That coach is going to have a huge impact on your career. Put it like that. So deciding where to go, a lot of that has to do with the coach. So if my coach leaves, I'm gonna consider going with him because I respect that man enough, and I wanted to play for that person. So,
yeah, it's just exhausting, man. I don't know. It's crazy. This is just like a free for all. I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be schools. Like, I think schools are gonna end up being impacted where they don't even have football anymore.
Yeah, no, it is getting kind of scary, man.
Just let that sink in, dog. Just wait until the Miami Ohio's and the fucking Toledo's and
The
Tennessee
Maximals.
State. They just don't have a team. They can't fill the roster. They can't do anything because, like, they can't do it. They have the resources. They just big fish eat little fish. And I told you, player empowerment is going to ruin the sport, man. It's going to end up folding a lot of things. When a school folds, because just be clear, football is a lot of FTE on a college campus, full-time enrollment, and a lot of dollars invested in there because of bowl games money and because of sponsorship money, because of ad sponsors, because of marketing. There's a lot of money that football teams bring into to colleges, small college, medium college, group of 5, power 5. It only goes up. When that stops, don't for a minute think that the college won't fold eventually either, because I'm telling you, you have to fill those dorms up with 100 to 200 kids a year. You have to fill up a lot of these different things. There's Title IX issues. When you lose that, you got to cut a women's team. And then when that women's team gets cut, guess what? The next one will get cut. And it's a dollar for dollar match with Title IX. So for every dollar spent on a man, you have to spend it on a woman. That's like one of the real bottom line definitions that people don't really ever break down when they talk Title IX. So ADs have a very, very hard job to match dollars for. If you have a women's soccer team and you cut it, you have to figure out, how am I cutting the women's soccer team and not violating Title IX on the man's side? So I have to cut something. So maybe, is it men's baseball this year? Is it men's soccer? Is it men's badminton? Some shit like that has to happen. So, see, MSLD Boogie is just ignorant. He still doesn't want to listen to what I'm saying. Has nothing to do with the actual sport at all for the women. It has to do with dollar matching, you fucking idiot. Listen. God. So anyway, got a lot going on, Smitty. You out here looking like Darth Vader. We got a lot going on. Shit.
Is that a racist joke? Is he being racist right there?
No, maybe. Maybe. We got a lot going on here. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, Twitter, you name it. We're there. Short, fast, skinny, tall. We do it all. Let me retweet some stuff E-Dub was on. That shout out to E-Dub jumping on early on a Friday. We got Jeff Nadu jumping on in about 35, 40 minutes. And speaking of 35, 40 minutes, don't go in there for 35 to 45 minutes. Take a listen at this. Real talk or jaw jacking?
Paid $5,000 a piece to do this. $2 million. We got paid $5,000 a piece to do that movie.
Right. And I guess Ice Cube was going to put up the money himself.
Right.
But New Line Cinema talked him out of it.
They said, look, ain't no sense you losing $2 million. If the movie bomb, we just take the hit. The movie grow $300 million.
He could have gotten all that.
And they're not going to come back and say, we made a lot of money, we're going to give you all a bonus. That ain't some bullshit. That don't happen in Hollywood.
Okay, so you made $5,000.
$5,000. Everybody else on the show, they're going to say they made more money. Ain't nobody made no money on that movie.
Okay.
$5,000.
Did Chris Tucker do about the same, you think?
About the same thing.
About the same.
Yeah.
Did Ice Cube have, Ice Cube had some sort of ownership, so he had royalties.
Well, he had ownership. He and DJ Pooh wrote the movie. He used his production company, Cube Vision, I think it is.
Okay.
So he going to get more money.
Cap? Cap? No cap?
Nah, I think no cap. I've heard.
I heard Chris Tucker still never got paid.
I'm sure he's gotten paid. I just think
he got paid through other avenues like royalties and shit. I don't think he got cut for the actual show. This shit is crazy to me. I've heard. I know for a fact these things happen because I've sat there with these guys and I've got to sit there and talk to them. And I've heard some inside stuff that is just. How do you do it? Why do you do it? You wonder why there's a writer's strike in the guild and all that going on because of the streaming apps and everything that's taken over this industry. People are not getting paid. I hope the strike blows up to where if it goes back, 7 years, I'm jumping in on it. I'm getting on the streaming money. Shit.
Right. I feel you. But Friday did so much for all those actors' careers, though. Honestly, even though they didn't get paid a lot, sometimes you got to do like a small sacrifice in order to like take 10 steps forward. You know what I'm saying? Like me and JB, we grinding right now. We make a little something, but we ain't really making no money for real. The hope is that one day we get to a point this thing blows up and we are hitting those numbers. So I think Friday is such a legendary classic movie. I've seen it so many times, more times than I could count. And you think about all the actors on that they got put on. Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker. I mean, obviously Ice Cube, he was already on from rapping, but even his movie career took off even more after that. I mean, so many, just countless others, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, John Witherspoon. I mean, so many legends on there. So I just think, I don't know. People are always going to complain about money. Anytime a money conversation gets brought up, people are going to feel all uncomfortable and upset. And I've seen so many stories from actors from that original Friday talk about the money. But at the end of the day, man, Ice Cube was trying to hustle, and he wrote it himself and got his homie DJ Pooh to help produce and write it. And he was trying to hustle. Like, I respect Ice Cube so much as a man because he just be hustling and figuring shit out, and probably didn't fully understand the business at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? And probably could have the money situation be a little better, I'm sure, in hindsight. But at the end of the day, everybody blew up from that movie. You know what I'm saying? So it's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but he also did number 2 and number 3, and I hope they got broke off from those.
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure they got paid more than they did on the first one. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it like that because it's hard to do number 2 and then do number 3 and like keep doing them if motherfuckers ain't making no money.
Yeah,
at some point.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I hope they got paid, but we'll see. Reposted some shit on Twitter real quick from the show. Shout out to Felipe and Bailey running the show behind us. They say on Twitter that you look like a low budget Ray Charles.
Wow. I'll take that. Legend. All right,
I gotta go in here. I mean, we'll take a break and I'm gonna get coffee and come back. I gotta ask you something. The Buffalo Bills are asking the people of Buffalo to help shovel out stadium snow again, Smitty. Again. And they're not offering food and drinks this time around. Just $20 an hour again. This team's worth $4 billion, Big Smitty. Are they missing maintenance or some crew to hire outside? Or I'm tripping? Am I tripping? Or what are we doing here? This is a joke at this point, right?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's like, we're laughing about it on social media and like making it like cool that they're shoveling snow and the Bills Mafia. They just want to see the game played so bad. They're out here doing it themselves. Man, hell no. That ain't your job. Like you said, it's $1 billion company. Hire some real people. Come do your work. You got the citizens doing the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's like, look at this. But you did say for clarity that they're getting paid $20 an hour. You did say that though, correct?
Yes.
So at least they're paying them. That makes me feel a lot better. $20 an hour. I mean, whatever. It ain't crazy.
Nowadays, $20 an hour. That motherfucker McDonald's working there though.
Yeah. And they're in New York too. Like, I know it's Buffalo, so I don't know if it's a little different, but New York is expensive as hell. So $20 an hour ain't really, you know what I'm saying? They ain't doing too much. Now, $20 an hour back home where I'm from, Naptown, yeah, that's pretty cool money on the side, but in Buffalo, I don't know.
Out here, $20 ain't doing shit. I bet you money in LA, you ain't getting nobody show up. And I guarantee you not a soul would show up to shovel snow for $20 an hour here in LA for the Rams.
What's multiple reasons? One, y'all fans are fugazi out here. Number one. Number two, there's too many other things to do. Number three, LA people are kind of like, I don't want to say lazy, but LA people are just like smoking weed, hanging on the beach under the palm tree. Motherfuckers just chilling. Like, it ain't really like trying to grind. Like I grew up having to scrape ice off the damn the driveway to help make sure my mom and we ain't slipping when we get out there. I have to go outside and start the car 40 minutes earlier and scrape the damn window. Like I grew up in that. Y'all LA folks ain't used to that grind, man. Y'all used to just waking up and being 75 and beautiful every fucking day.
Hey, I used to wake
flip flops.
So I went to college I was a junior in Kansas, right? I had my daughter, she's 18 months old. I had to get her up at 4 to take her to daycare. We had weights at 6, right? So I had 4 o'clock, get her up. She's fucking irate, yelling at me. I got to spray some detangler because, she got sister hair a little bit. It's a little nappy. I had sprayed a detangler in there, Johnson & Johnson. I'm trying to get that shit out. She's yelling at me because I'm horrible. So I fucking do the hair. I had to go start the car about 40 minutes before I let it run. I had a Jeep Wagoneer, old school 88, clean though. I let that motherfucker start up so it's not fucking frozen for about 40 minutes, get the heater on. So the motherfucker toasty when we do finally get in the car 40 minutes later because it's -10. And then you got to cut that shit off your window with the scraper. And then I learned you can't throw water on it, break your windshield.
Oh, shit. You threw water on there?
No. Well, I did before, but not.
Don't do that.
Don't throw hot water on that motherfucker. I know that.
Do not do that.
But that shit'll break your window.
It will.
Hey, dog, we had 20 LA cats out there in Kansas. We don't know.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's I'm glad you at least experienced it though. You at least understand what I'm saying, and you had your time frame out there, so at least you get it. That's why I think it's so important for people, if you have the ability to or the opportunity to leave the nest, even for a little while, just to kind of understand another side of town, how someone else is living. You know what I mean? I remember being at Ball State. We had homies from Florida, like shout out to my boy Tyree Holder. I remember like freshman year when it first snowed, he was so just like, oh my God, like excited. Because he's only seen snow like on movies for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like little stuff that was just regular to me. A kid from Florida love it.
Hey, true story. We had 9 of 11 guys on offense were from Cali. And we're in the huddle. We're in a huddle back in the day when we huddled. We're in the huddle in Colorado. And it starts snowing, dog. We had 2. No bullshit. It's a true story. I wrote about it in my book. 2 delay of game penalties because we're in the huddle arguing and shit about what the fuck it is, what we do, what is the snow? We never seen snow. What are we doing with it? How we gonna throw the ball? How we gonna catch? I got a motherfucker from Compton like, motherfucker, I can't catch this shit. This is slippery as fuck, JV. We in there arguing, like wiping each other's hands. 2 delay of games. Our head coach Liker's like, what the fuck going on, JV? I'm like, motherfuckers is scared of the snow.
That's hilarious.
True story, dog. We're like in the second quarter. It was getting cold as shit, but I'm like, damn, we're in the second quarter. Started snowing. It just starts flaking right in our huddle and shit. We're like, what the fuck is this? All LA, 9 of 11 LA cats, dog. We're in the huddle in Kansas, and we're like in Colorado. Fucking, I forgot where I think it was like Colorado School of Mines or something. And I'm like, damn, we got this shit going on in snow. We can't handle the snow.
That's hilarious, man. That's funny.
Hey, dog. Tuscaloosa, Alabama is crumbling. T-Rich couldn't make it on this week. He'll be on next week, but we're going to talk about it. As of about an hour ago, their 5-star plus QB they signed last year, Julian Sand, is entered the portal. The wheels are falling off there. The board got his other guy in. Listen, I don't know what's happening here, but I believe the rules have allowed a team like Alabama, a Washington, whoever else, to be able to go to a playoff, benefit from that success, and then crumble because of the rules and how the NCAA has allowed this thing to work to basically just cripple a program within a 24-hour span. Like overnight, your program is gone because you didn't think ahead enough to say, what if a coach resigns? What if a team goes to the playoffs, the coach retires, everybody enters the portal, but yet the players in the portal are already scooped up by other schools that did not make the playoff, that had time to recruit the portal and get the best player. People did not think about it, and that's what's happening to Alabama. There's no one in the portal anymore. There is, but to get, like, who's going to get? They're not getting a kid from Miami of Ohio in the portal.
Right. Now, coach me up on this. When does the portal open up again?
What do you mean open up to get out?
Yeah, so like for my clarity, so obviously the portal like it's closed right now, whatever. Like it was open for those weeks, it closed. Does it open up one more time like before the summer, or is it or no? Like it's a wrap. Like whatever's done is done, and this is what it is.
So January 2nd was the cutoff from what I used to know.
Gotcha.
So it was January 2nd used to be the portal window closes, and then athletes can no longer enter their name into the portal until the spring window opens. And I don't know.
All right, got you.
I don't know when the spring deal opens.
Got you.
Let me see it, baby. I don't know if you can see when it opens. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know when it opens back, but yeah, it is still January 2nd. It was shut down, but now it must be open again. I have no idea.
Yeah,
it's only 17 days. I don't get it.
It's just confusing for me, man. It really is. But I mean, Bama's gonna struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna struggle at least for this season. It's just too much moving around and like a new head coach, new players, new scheme. You know, it's gonna be too much trying to figure it out. I'd be surprised if they win more than 8 games this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would really be surprised if we win more than 8 games.
I think there's a spring window that opens for the portal, and then there's August 1st or something is the official again. I don't understand the August portal. That means you're gonna allow people to leave your school after the whole spring and go into the summer. That means you lost your whole it's stupid as shit ever to me. I don't get it. But what I don't really get is the fact that how are you entering the portal now then? If the rule said January 2nd is the cutoff,
right?
The portal window closes January 2nd. Athletes can no longer enter their name into the portal. How did this kid enter the portal? Am I tripping?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I asked you the question, because I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. I'm like, I thought the portal closed, which makes it too hard for these motherfuckers. I don't know. I really don't know.
Says he plans to enter the transfer portal. So when? August?
Right. Like, is he speaking for the future? So right now he's just like not practicing or nothing, just chilling? I don't know.
I don't believe it changes if your coach leaves either. I don't think that's a rule. But because that rule didn't count for – I don't think they put that in the clause. I haven't seen the coach leave issue. But maybe they put it in. I don't know. I refuse to follow the portal rules. I'm not going to go look it up either. I don't care. Like, I guess it's the coach leaves, you can leave because Washington's QB just did it.
Yeah, I don't know. This shit is confusing. And it shouldn't be confusing. It should just be simple. You know, if you're going to – and it used to be simple when I was a player. You got one time you could fucking transfer, and when you did transfer, you had to sit out a year. And then your coach, I think I don't know if the head coach had to approve where you transfer to, but like a lot of times I know players couldn't transfer to like another, you know, rival or in conference, you know, in division, whatever team, whatever, for obvious reasons. So it was a more simple process though. You know what I mean? It was clear, and players didn't want to transfer unless they really had to, because like, man, you do not want to sit out a whole year. Nobody wants to go, because when you sit out a whole year, you're basically like a scout. I mean, I bet you're a scout team guy. You're a scout team guy, no matter how talented you are. My guy who we had on this show like months ago, Jonathan Newsom, plays in the USFL right now. My guy Jay New, he was an Ohio State guy. You know, something happened in Ohio State. He transferred to Ball State. He's clearly either our best player or he's top 3, top 4 on the team. But that didn't matter. He had to sit out a whole year. He was a scout team player that entire year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and you got to do all the workouts that like the young freshmen do when they come in, which, if you guys know, are way harder than the older cats, at least in season, obviously, because if they're not playing, we're trying to develop these guys to build, you know, put on weight, do all those type of things. So my point is, you had to really think if you wanted to transfer, because you're just like, do I want to go through all that shit and not play, or do I want to figure it out here? Where now it's like there's no slap on the hand. If you know what I'm saying, like, transfer, okay, don't work, transfer again, or don't work, go again.
Like, I'm getting texts from some buddies that coach D1 right now watching the show. who's one of them's going to come on next week. The guy, Coach Lamar and AR5. Let me. It's crazy though. So you could get fired though. Can't leave. Can't follow the coach. So your coach can be fired and you're stuck there. But if your coach leaves, you could follow him. Make that make fucking sense to me.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Make sense to me. I'm so curious as to how that works. So I can follow my coach if he leaves, but I can't follow him if he gets fired. I'm leaving and coming here because of this particular dude. If he leaves and I can follow him, okay, but if he's fired, I can't follow him? That shit is the dumb. NCAA, dog, I'm going to be honest with you. It's the craziest, dumbest shit I've ever seen or heard of in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, I don't get it. I do not get
it. These dudes, man, I'm telling you, it blows my mind that this shit happens like this. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. My guy, my brother F.A., what's going on?
Man, what's up? What's up? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to my dog, man. Big Smitty. Big Smitty, big 30.
Yeah,
happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Any females in the chat? Happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday to Big Smitty.
Yeah.
We
got the graphics. We got the hey. It's the Curry year, big 30.
Yeah,
so
man.
That means Big Smitty shooting from the logo all year, big risks, taking big risks, making big moves.
Yes, sir,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that, man. I know F.A. wanted to call in a couple days ago to talk some some trash to JB about them Lions.
Yeah, hey, JB been hating on the Lions, keeping Jared Goff off all the lists. Hating on my man St. Brown because he should have been in the Pro Bowl over whoever the hell else they had in there.
I'm the one that said he should be in. What you talking about? Hey, that's one of my Compton brother. I know his daddy. He's from Compton. Look, I think St. Brown should have got in over A.J. Brown. That's what I said. He should have got in. He had better stats. He performed. He played. He's still playing. Like, I don't know how he didn't get in. But I'm going to tell you, this is the year that you gotta go. You gotta go with being a Detroit fan, and you have to stand on business. You got to. Hopefully, you're out there at the parade, dog. When they go to the NFC finals, they're gonna be in the NFC Championship game. They're going to be in the NFC Championship game.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I've been standing on business all season. I came
I
on
want
here.
you to stand on business and remember this and time for the rest of your life, because this is the worst, the NFL has ever been. The worst.
It ain't getting any better. So
this is the worst the NFL's ever been. Jared Goff has to do something now because he can't beat a real legitimate team. Let's keep it 100.
Come
you don't
on,
have the
come
it
on
factor.
now. So the Rams were legitimate until the Lions whooped that ass.
Well, yeah, you got a lot of referee fan help. But look, it is what it is. You're telling me right now,
the Cowboys
on this show right now, you're telling me, FAs, that you would take Goff over Stafford.
Shit, they just played and Goff won.
Don't be stuttering
They
and
just
shit.
They just played and Goff won.
Take your glasses off. Keep it 100. Who do you take right now?
Oh, Stafford. But Goff just beat him.
No, Goff didn't beat him. Goff was shitty. Goff didn't beat him.
Goff wasn't shitty, JB. Now, like, you love throwing out these strong words like shitty, sucks. Like, nah, he played solid. You know what I'm saying? He played solid.
Detroit. Listen, I love Motor City. I love Detroit. I love Cass Tech. I love Deerfield. I love everything about recruiting that city, Detroit, kicking it, whatever. I've had some greats out of there. Shout out to J. Rue Campbell, my boy and his daddy. Chris Weber's boys. We playing poker one night. Everyone was there. Unbelievable. I love it. But look, for the city, shit, I hope Detroit wins the whole Super Bowl now. But at the same time, This is a bad year to. I mean, this is the NFL at its worst. They better. I hope they win it.
Nah, but let's be real though. I think they do get past the Bucks. It's going to be so loud at Ford Field.
I'll bet big money they're beating the Bucks.
But the NFC Championship, that's where that's going to end. The Niners going to kick that.
Unless it's Green Bay.
What if the Green Bay's hot?
Stop it.
Green Bay's hot now.
Unless it's Green Bay, they could beat Green Bay and fuck around being the Super Bowl.
If it's Green Bay, they playing at the crib again.
Y'all telling FA, you my bro. You tell me Green Bay gonna beat the Niners now live on the show.
I'm not saying that, but that's why you strap the helmet on, put the shoulder pads on, and tie the cleats up.
FA, time out. We strapped our helmet up against Clemson. We put our cleats on against Texas A&M. We did a lot of that shit you talking right now. We got our ass beat. So it sounds good until you go out there and you get hit in the mouth.
Hey, I hear you. I think the 49ers will win too. But if the Packers win, the NFC Championship is at the crib.
Yeah, no, if the Packers win, the Lions are going to Super Bowl.
And so I want credit where credit is due. JB been hating, you know what I'm saying, and counting the Lions out. Smitty been kind of counting the Lions out a little bit too, but Smitty's wife, he's from the D, so he shows love. He knows the dances, yep. So, JB, you got to give credit where credit's due.
I do.
We ain't worried about Tampa Bay. Aiden Hutchinson gonna get in that wide 9 stance, and come on now.
Hey, hold on, Baker. Hey, Baker was dealing last week.
Look, we ain't worried about.
Read the
hold on, you just did this with Stafford.
I got my Mexicans in. I got to let my Mexicans in the backyard to finish my heel. So rock with FA for 5 and then take a commercial, and we'll come back with Jeff Nadu.
JB, tell him I said, "Como estás?" But
look,
listen,
yeah. See,
keep going,
just did the comparison with Stafford and Goff.
Yeah,
do the same thing with Goff and Baker. Go ahead. Would you rather have Goff or would you rather have Baker?
Right now, I would say Goff because I know the history. Goff has been to a Super Bowl. A lot of times, I feel like we forget, that he went to Super Bowl.
But people discredit. People act like Goff. All Goff did the whole playoff run that year was just hand the ball off to Todd Gurley. He didn't have to make no throws. He didn't have to make no decisions. He didn't have to do nothing. He didn't have to command the huddle in the team. All he did was hand it off to Gurley. That's how people act with Goff.
Right.
And it's like Goff was young and he had a great defense and he had good pieces around him. Yeah, we know. But at the end of the day, he got to the Super. Ain't nobody hating on Joe Flacco for winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Even though he had a great defense. I know Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, and it's not like he's an amazing quarterback. But at the end of the day, quarterback has to make the plays that need to be made, make the calls, and you can't hate on the quarterback for having a great supporting cast. It helps. But
if a team goes to a Super Bowl, they're great. They have help. What I'm saying? There's no way you're there with just the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't be mad. At Tom Brady, every Super Bowl he's ever won, he's had a top 10 defense.
And the goddamn greatest kicker of all time. What can you imagine if Adam Vinatieri shanking the shit to win the game and it goes into OT or whatever, or they lose? Without Adam Vinatieri, Brady could have 4 rings.
Right. You never know. That's why I'm saying it's a team sport. It's a team sport. We're going to, praise the quarterback, but you need a team around you. So let me ask you this real quick, FA, while it's on my mind. Because you're in Michigan right now. Has Jared Goff already surpassed Matthew Stafford in terms of just the love? Because he's done something that Matthew Stafford never could do for Detroit. Although we all know Stafford was an amazing quarterback for the Lions, he never could get him over the hump or win a playoff game. Jared Goff has done that. Is he above him in the Mount Rushmore of Detroit Lions quarterbacks?
I wouldn't say so. And if Lions fans are saying that, I say not to be a prisoner of the moment. Got to understand when Stafford was playing in Detroit, them Packers were the real deal with Aaron Rodgers. The Packers were winning 11, 12 games a year. So even them years where the Lions went 8-8 or 9-7 or whatever, 10-6 even, it was hard. They had to work to get in the playoffs because the Packers are going to win 12. And the Vikings might win 9 themselves. like the NFC North has always been pretty solid. And when you have an A-Rod or, you know, a Hall of Fame type quarterback in there, like, you know, and then those Lions teams just weren't as good as those Packers teams or the Vikings teams or whatever. So Stafford was always kind of working, you know, working with a lot less than what Goff has had to work with. Goff has a much better team, and like the Lions are in fact the best team in the NFC North. Now you can say with the Vikings, if Kirk Cousins is healthy and if Justin Jefferson is healthy all season, you know, you can do that. But, you know, like I think that, you know, Matt Stafford is that guy. And what he did can't necessarily be erased. He's won some big games here. He's played through a lot of injuries and you know, he's done a lot of great things. It's just right now in this moment, it's like, man, because the Lions ain't had this moment and Lions fans ain't had this moment since shit before we were born.
Right. No, literally.
So you can, it's up for debate, like however you want to look at it. But for me, like you have to really look at, you know, what each quarterback has done so far. Like, and Goff ain't played for the Lions as long as Stafford played for the Lions.
Right.
You know, it just so happens that they had to play against each other. So Lions fans were doing a lot of hating on Matthew Stafford, and honestly, it's all fun and whatnot because they're just the opponent.
Right.
But when Matt Stafford was playing for the Super Bowl and the Lions weren't in the playoffs, a bunch of Lions fans was rooting for Matthew Stafford to get the ring. So I think it's Stafford. I think it's Stafford, but hey, if Goff can lead them to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, well, shit. I mean,
it's a whole. If that happens, the city gonna shut down for a week. Right. Nobody's gonna go to work. It's gonna be a whole nother situation in Detroit. I might have to fly out for that. Are you going to the game this weekend or no?
I won't be there this weekend. But shit, I'm gonna be locked in. It's a wild time in Michigan. It's weird. It's weird. The Pistons are trash,
horrible, and
the Lions are cold, like Super Bowl contender type cold. So,
and then obviously Michigan won the Natty undefeated.
Michigan won the national title. It's a lot of stuff going on in the sports world in this state that ain't happened in a long time. Like Michigan basketball is struggling. Michigan State basketball is average right now. It's just, you know, like the Pistons won what, 4 games?
I think 4. It might be 3. I don't know. They're bad. They're real bad.
I don't get it. They got some good young talent. They got a good coach. I'd like to think Monty Williams just led a team to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't figure out the NBA or why teams ain't good or why teams are good. I don't know.
It's hard to read, man. It's hard to read. Let me ask you this before we go to commercial break. I want to ask you. So I got your picks on the NFC side. It sounds like you think the Packers could upset the Niners, but in reality, you think the Niners are probably going to win.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Lions winning as well. Let's move to the AFC real quick. You got the Chiefs and the Bills in Buffalo this time. It's the first time Mahomes has had a playoff game on the road. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the game of the weekend. Who you got winning that game?
Man, that's tough. They're both teams that are used to the cold weather.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have just been iffy this year, man.
Yeah. I mean, both teams were at different points. The Bills put themselves in a bad hole, and then they got hot to end the season. The Chiefs have been weird, but they look pretty good.
Like every time they play, it's a good game. Shit, it's hard for me to bet against Mahomes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just as much as the Chiefs Kingdom be pissing y'all off, I like trolling them too. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, man. I feel like in these types of games, they always find a way to win, even if it's ugly. Like, you look at the stats or whatever, you'd be like, damn, Mahomes didn't really do much. Kelsey didn't really do much. Nobody really, but they won like 23-20 or something. It's so I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, but that's gonna be a good game because the Bills are playing well. Josh Allen is playing well, and then I don't. Who the hell are the Ravens playing? They're gonna win regardless.
They playing the Texans. CJ Stroud. Them
CJ
young
Stroud
boys.
balling, but I got the Ravens. I got the Ravens, but I do like the Texans though. I like CJ Stroud is the real deal.
The future is bright. I think that game's gonna start off real close. Everyone's gonna be nervous because the Ravens. You gotta remember they haven't played in a while. So
it's been a minute.
A long time.
Yeah, I see, and I wonder how the 49ers and the Ravens will look because of that layoff. They ain't played in a long time. So, does that hurt teams or does it help teams? Obviously, the rest is good, but you're gonna be playing against teams that have been playing.
Yeah.
And like some of these teams that get the bye, like they rested their starters in the last week. So their starters, their main dudes ain't played in like 3-4 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's been a long time,
So yeah. And then who's sitting out for the Ravens? I just saw
Marlon Humphrey's out.
Oh yeah, that's
out. Yeah, so
that's a big.
That doesn't help. He's not as good as he used to be. If I'm being transparent, but still a leader on that team, a guy who can make plays, a guy who can get the ball out. So we'll see, man. But I just think this is the Ravens' year, man. Lamar's locked in. This defense, it's the best team Lamar, in my opinion, has had in totality. I think this is the year that he at least makes it to the Super Bowl. So
man, I'm rooting for Lamar, man. Just as much as I'm rooting for Detroit. I'm rooting for Lamar, man. I want him to be successful. I always got to hear naysayers. I know that's a hot word right now, like JB talking about how Lamar can't throw. I see a lot of other quarterbacks that people hype up throwing side, right and left, throwing screen passes.
Right.
I see a lot of the stuff that people critique about Lamar. I see other quarterbacks making mistakes, those same mistakes twice as much.
Right.
Like, so I think that Lamar is the best quarterback in the league. I think the system he plays in does help him just because he can run, but like you can't hate on a quarterback.
I mean, that's everything.
Yeah. You utilize the quarterback to run. Like people look at Cam Newton's career. Cam Newton ain't that great of a quarterback if you look at his statistics. But if you watch the game, you watch the film, you were living in that moment, you knew that Cam Newton was the real deal because he was 265 pounds and he'll run your ass over just as much as he could throw a touchdown. So
yeah, man. I just think it's a new age, man, and we have a lot of dual threat type of quarterbacks. You can't look at them from just their throwing stats. You got to look at their rushing yards and look at it as a total package. And I think Lamar, man, like even games where he's had like one touchdown pass, it's like, all right, from a stat standpoint, it looks ugly. But when you watch the game, it's like, okay, he got them all the way to the 5-yard line, and then they handed the ball off. So he doesn't get the touchdown, but without him, they're not even in position to score. So it's the little things that you got to really dive into. So now, my brother, we do got to go to a commercial break, but I appreciate you for calling in, man. I'm turning up today. My boy Sheldon surprised me last night. Our boy Sheldon flew in last night.
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
I already knew.
Because you did.
Because I went to the game when he played against the Lions, and he told me. So I didn't, he told me he was pulling up on you.
It's a lot going on that I don't know about right now. So I just know Chanel playing tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Just enjoy it, man. It's 30.
Yes,
shit.
Yes, sir,
it's a good feeling. A lot of people don't make it to 30.
Hell no.
Enjoy it, man. But yeah, I'll holler at you later, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Keep doing the damn thing on the show, man.
Yes, sir, man. My brother, I'm holler at you later.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. All right, man. Chat JB, man. You know me. I run the show. You know, he had to go. So we're going to do a real quick, probably 3-minute break. I'm going to go pay some bills, take a piss, get some tea for my voice. And when I come back, we got a lot more to talk about. Jeff Nadu going to join us. JB going to come back from his flat tire. And y'all got to bring that super chat back. Y'all had me turned up at the beginning of the show, y'all. So 3-minute break. Bailey, throw us a commercial. We'll be right back.
Where he lands, in my opinion, is what happens with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, although I said Vrabel's probably a hotter commodity now because of his young, he's got the players' attention in the locker room, players like all that shit. Fiery, blah, blah, blah. He's the hottest ticket maybe, but the most influential ticket is still Bill Belichick. And as he goes, other guys can fall into place. Let's make sure we're not getting twisted here. If he stays in New England, I'm back. Fuck all the bullshit. Detroit is gonna Detroit eventually. I just came back while Smitty held it down. Let me give you a little insight real quick. I got a little information just now that it is very, very likely, everybody out there listening, that regardless of the outcome of this season in Kansas City, Andy Reid may be calling it quits again also. Another icon in the profession may be calling it quits. Belichick, Carroll, Saban. Is Andy Reid next? Can we start to call a spade, a square, and a circle? Can we start calling this shit out? What are you talking about, JB? What are we calling out? Y'all know what I'm calling out. You know what I'm calling out. It ain't ironic that Andy Reid could step away. It ain't ironic that Pete Carroll was either let go or mutually parted ways. It ain't ironic that Nick Saban said enough is enough. It ain't ironic that Belichick mutually parted ways. This ain't ironic. Let's keep it funky. Keep it real. Why is it the way that it is falling? The cookie's crumbling this way. You know why? They don't want to coach these pussies no more. They don't want to coach these pussies. Popovich is going to give it up. I've heard that Popovich has said on record that this team is talented enough to win games in the NBA. And this team 5 years ago, he would have won with in the NBA. He said this genetically made up team of this constructive roster of this age group generation cannot win. But he thinks 5 years ago, this same team would have won. That tells you something. These motherfuckers can't mentally handle it. They are soft. Period. They are mentally weak. There's no mental fortitude. There's no tough skin. You can't get yelled at. You can't yell at them. You can't fucking tell a guy to fight through some pain and play. They want to load manage. They want to do this. I'm telling you, there's a reason why these cats are dropping like flies in the industry. Don't be shocked when a lot of other coaches say, fuck this, I'm out. Because I've told you what major Power 5 coaches have told me before. If Walmart were paying the same amount, I'd be at Walmart. There's a reason why they've told me this. Just telling you, man. This is a real thing. We're losing greats because pussies are running the world. Period. RG3, beef. Smitty thinks it's fabricated. But the truth of the matter is RG3 has dirt on somebody. Just take a listen to Warren Sapp about a year ago when Daniel Snyder was in the heat of the mix of getting fired in Washington as the Commanders coach. And RG3's ascent came up and he left being a cut player. Let's just be clear here. Let's just go through the chronological order of RG3. He was a cut football player who overnight was on College Game Day, Monday Night Football, fucking every single ESPN show seemingly overnight. How does that happen? How does that happen? I think Warren Sapp has a insight on how it happened.
Robert Griffin Jr. said that he was coming out with I got sexually harassed book, and all of a sudden the book went away, and he was on every major college football game, and every damn preview show we can find. Robert Griffin Jr. was everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? He knows how to tell us about a quarterback. He couldn't play it, let alone sit up in a box for 3 hours and listen to his ass. Come on.
I'm just saying. Something happened, and I brought this up a year ago or 2 years ago, whenever I noticed it too. I brought it up on the show. I think it was still Slapdick podcast then. I mean, let's just be honest. We're talking about a woke network who promotes woke folks. So it is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. I mean, that's just what happens. And I mean,
anyway, and people don't realize, like, you know, it's Smitty's birthday and motherfucker just want to pop in and act like he know the conversation. He don't. How long did you motherfuckers talk? I had to go do a lot of shit. I had to go with the Mexicans outside. I had to like shovel some shit, pick it up, water it down for the Mexicans to come in, and then they got to finish my hill. You know what I'm saying? Plan some shit. I got some mulch being put in. I had some stairs being put up, Smitty. You could go walk upstairs into my hill now.
What?
You can run them.
The stairs of heaven.
I'm gonna run the stairs now every day.
You ain't running shit. You ain't ran since 03. This motherfucker ain't. JB ain't ran since 03, so we gonna run the stairs. You gonna run your mouth on this show. That's what we gonna run. Man. You ain't running nothing.
You wanna be on the left side today?
Yeah, left side today. I'm running shit today. So it's gonna be on the left side. JB, if you run, like I got your AE got to record it. We gotta see a video. Yeah. And I want to really see you like running. Like I'm talking about pumping your arms. I
got stairs being put in today. That's halfway done already. The other half goes in today because it's gonna get bad weather this weekend. We got a little football palooza this weekend at the JB's front. I'm gonna cook some, I'm gonna smoke some. I haven't smoked none in a couple weeks, Smitty. So I think E-Dub, Weddle's gonna come through. Steve maybe come through. We got some of my partners coming through. We're gonna play some poker tomorrow. And then
I kicked y'all ass last time. I kicked y'all ass. Took you for all your money.
I won.
What you mean? When I came over?
I won, yeah.
No, when I was there, you lost.
I didn't lose. I won.
Me and my guys, we split the pot. What are you
I don't
talking
recollect.
about?
Don't recollect you ever winning anything.
This motherfucker's a liar. Wow. It's crazy somebody can just lie on the show just like that. You a good ass liar too. Like people gonna believe you now in the chat. You a hell of a liar. You should be a lawyer.
I got the money on the poker table still from 4 weeks ago when you were here.
I used some of that money last night.
I'm talking about the cash money is on the poker table right now.
You're lying because I used half the money that I won from y'all and I threw it at the club last night. Come on, bro. That's crazy how we just be lying. Look at Kelly. I ain't seen Kelly since 2019, pre-pandemic.
Hey, Kelly helped. Kelly hit me up because a dog got lost in Dallas, a little pit bull girl, and I helped her spread the word. Put it out. That's why you saw me posting those dog pictures. That was for Kelly. So Kelly got it. Kelly, the original owner came back, found the dog. Some hood black cats owned it. I called everything out. Kelly figured it out. She knew right away. I didn't have to see it. I knew who owned it. I knew who had her. And then Kelly went over to the crib and saw that it was real. Kelly's a trooper. Kelly's a rider. She went and saw it. I said, she told me the situation. She sent me a video. I seen the garage. I'm like, black cats own that, huh? She's like, yeah. I go, I know. She goes, how do you be knowing all this shit? I go, I've been raising pits 30 years. A white person would have had the pit in the house, Smitty.
Okay. Hold on, time out. We talked about this yesterday or 2 days ago.
Stereotype. We raised the show. We got to get to the real. And I was just saying, it was a bag. It was in a. Hey, let me give you the.
Okay, whoa.
This is how I know. Let me give you the scene. Kelly went in, videoed it, sent it to me. I'm looking at it. There's 2 brake drums on the garage floor next to the blanket, and then there's a big ass Crisco oil drum. And I said, the black people shit on me. I said the black people shit, and black people got this pit right here. And sure enough, I said, some hood black cats or some regular black cats? What kind of hood? What kind of cat is it? She's like, well, the owner's name is Tip. I said, homie, come on. You know the hood ass fat cat owns that dog.
They selling weed out the back. They selling DVDs. Fucking.
Hey, I saw all kinds of shit. There was all kinds in the garage. I could just, you know, a white garage and a black garage. Let's keep it real. Oh my goodness, Dr. Mendoza, Elio Mendoza, shout out.
Big Doctor.
Big Smitty, that's not for you.
Nah, that is for me. Dr. B, is that for me or for the show? Is that for my birthday or for the show?
It's for you. Dr. Mendoza's a hood cat who runs shit, and he's a giver like me, so he's giving you 50. Trust me. That's
Doc,
who he is.
I appreciate you so much, man. You're always supporting the show.
Maybe you'll meet him one day. He'll just school you. He's going to school you on some old school, real gangster shit. I'm going to tell you.
One thing about me, I listen to the OGs. Like, I respect my elders. I was raised right, so I'm going to listen to the OGs, man. I'm becoming an elder, though. I'm 30 years old now, man. I got a lot of wisdom in this brain, JB. Like, once you reach 30, it's like, hey, you grown. I'm a grown man now. Like, ain't no more bullshit. Ain't no playing around. Hector,
pesos on the mamón.
Hector, hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien. ¿Y tú? Yes. Me gusta el pollo. Yes. Hey.
Hey, Jesse, LB in the building. Hey, Dr. Mendoza, though, is from Watts. What's up? Big Smitty, hey, baby, did you get that? Let's talk about it. Already breaking news. What? Chief Andy Reid has retired. I'm just fucking with you.
That would have changed everything.
City. That's it. JB retired. Chiefs are possibly bracing that legendary head coach Andy Reid retires. Hey. It's crazy how I said it first, though. Why I came back and got a text message and see, I wish I could show you text message. I just can't do it. I'm not willing to sacrifice people's information to show you that I got the information. I don't give a fuck if you don't believe me. Smitty has seen enough text messages from people to me that I don't need to prove anything other than Smitty. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think out there. Jeffrey.
Helpless Hero, appreciate you for the $10 donation, man. I'm gonna give me a bag of chips, a grape soda, and a piece of candy with that, man. Appreciate you.
It's Than, THAN, Jay.
So, Jay, anytime you're comparing one thing to another, it's AN. Just to help you out with that. I know it could be because then, hey, the English language is kind of confusing, man. There's then, there's there, they are, there. Like, our shit kind of complicated if you're not from here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Or you get retarded and you
say slow. Just say slow.
You text all the fucking time and you abbreviate every single thing so you cannot anymore spell anything. And you're so grammatically incorrect nowadays, these fucking kids who can't write a paper to save their lives because they text SMH, LOL, GTOFHHG, whatever, fuck, Alphabet Warrior, fucks.
LFG.
Mike Tomlin, Big Smitty, came out and said,
What'd he say?
I got the fire again. I'm back. I'm ready to go.
In a little better mood today, man. Anybody got any contract questions?
That motherfucker just got the bag. That's why he talking like that. He knows shit we don't know. He just got that bag, JB. That's why you have
in all seriousness to the Yinzers out there, I love Mike Tomlin. Playoff record's not great since he won a Super Bowl. It's actually less than Mike McCarthy's winning percentage and wins in a playoff. Mike McCarthy's 1-3. Tomlin's 0-4. But having said that, I love Mike Tomlin. I'm just going to stand on that hill. Having said that, though, there's no way in this God's green earth that Mike Tomlin today is not trying to find him a fucking quarterback. There's just no way. I believe if they get a quarterback and get some guys to buy in, maybe get rid of some shitbirds, that team will do it again. They'll win again. They'll do something. I don't know if they win a Super Bowl, but they're going to, I think, be even better than they are, which is still amazing to what he does with basically chicken shit and turns it into chicken salad. I don't think that roster's top to bottom a top fucking 10 roster, but he's a top 10 NFL team every year.
He is, man. I think Tom is literally in the hood right now. He got his Tim's on. He got a coat. He's by himself, and he's looking for a quarterback. He's looking for a quarterback at every level. He's in Philly right now in the trenches on the East Coast. He's coming to Nadu's door. He's knocking on every single door.
Do you have a shirt under the robe today?
Yeah.
Jeff be butt-ass naked on the show.
I like it better without the shirt. I thought you were more like Gabagool without the shirt, you know.
Jeff's a real one. He ain't doing all that fake shit. He's a real one. He ain't got.
You're already talking nonsense on the show. I mean, enough with Mike Tomlin. Enough.
Oh, hold on, Jeff. Hold on now.
What do you mean? Hold on. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. Barack Obama was the president then. Think about that.
Jeff, what are you saying?
Jeff, you get in the playoffs in his career. He's won a Super Bowl in 2009. That was
been to another one
15 years ago.
He ain't never had a fucking losing record, Jeff
Bill
Nadu.
Belichick won 8 Super Bowls and he got fired, dude.
Motherfucker, because he's shitty now. Mike Tomlin ain't never had a losing season. Jeff, I would love to see you go over there and coach that fucking Steelers team with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett, you know, and go win 10 games.
At some point, he has to be the scapegoat for that, dude. He's the one that has these teams every year. So he doesn't have any, he has no involvement.
He ain't the GM. He ain't the GM there. He don't control everything.
But you know damn well that the coach, especially the head coach who's been there like 20 years, has control over what happens with his team. How come no one makes excuses for Mike Tomlin?
Let me ask you this right now, Jeff. Let me ask you this right now, Jeff. Keep it real on this show, because we don't lie on this show. Take that same Steelers team, give them Josh Allen. Tell me, just keep it real. Keep it real.
I understand you. I agree. This has been a problem since Big Ben left. They have not prepared to get a new quarterback, and they failed at multiple levels. At what point is Mike Tomlin involved with that?
When he starts to lose.
Fault for Mike Tomlin.
Listen, man. Winning.
Hey, Jeff, can we follow along real quick, though, since I don't know if you know or not. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Big Smitty. Please take off your AR5 glasses.
Appreciate you, JB. Appreciate you, Jeff.
But I'll say happy birthday. But why? Why is every other coach under the microscope with this guy? Seriously.
He was under the microscope 3 weeks ago.
Thank you. We talked about it on this show. We had a whole topic about being on the hot seat.
Why is he still there? Do you realize in his last 4 playoff appearances, his defense has allowed over 40 points a game? Seriously.
Yeah, but context,
any other coach, he's fired.
Context matters. Context matters, Jeff. I would love to dissect those games and see, like, okay, was there any pick sixes? Were there any turnovers that gave the other team short fields?
Were there points a game?
Were there how many times was it 3 and outs? Like, as a defensive player, I don't think y'all fully understand what it's like when you have a shitty ass offense. Like you could be a great defense, but if you're on the field all damn game, it's like, what the fuck? I'm exhausted. I used to hate when we'll go out there, get a big time stop. Hell yeah, y'all. Hell yeah. Hey, that was good shit, man. Good sack on that third down. Hell yeah. Soon as I sit down, hey, defense, be ready. I'm like, what? We just sat down. Defense, be ready. I'm over here breathing hard on the sideline, trying to get some water, and we're back on the field. That is exhausting.
Now magnify that by 100 and put on Mike Tomlin's shoes. Because now he has to go to George Pickens and say, hey, George Pickens, You need to be a team player and shut the fuck up, and I don't need you to talk about how bad the defense is. And then he has to go on the defensive side and tell fucking Cam Hayward, hey, listen, I don't care if he didn't block for the running back. You need to be a team here and defend each other and back each other up. That is the guy now having to mediate two shitbird sides of the ball. It is not easy.
Think about this. Mike Tomlin had Antonio Brown. We didn't hear a peep. We didn't hear shit. Antonio Brown leaves, all hell breaks loose. So I just think when coaching, Jeff, I hear what you're saying. Like on a serious note, I understand. Like at some point, you gotta like win again, like when it matters. Like we agree on that, of course. But I think with coaching as well, there's so much just management and intangibles and just being the head of everything. So many details that none of us really even know because we're not in the locker room. So to have a team that's never had a losing season, regardless of injuries, regardless of your quarterback situation, to always hang around like 9 to 11 wins every single year, no matter what. Like you have to give that credit to Tomlin because we see a Bill Belichick. As soon as he loses his quarterback, they have a 10-6 year with Mac Jones rookie year. Cool, cool year. Since then, trash and more trash. So it's like, it's not like what he's doing is easy. Otherwise, everyone will be doing it.
But at some point, this league is, what have you done for me lately? And it hasn't even been, what have you done for me lately? It has been, what have you done for me in 8 years? 8, not 3 or 4, dude. I mean, at some point, we have to understand that this guy at this point, like someone in the chat said, he's mid. He just is. He's a mid coach. That's what he is. He'll never win a Super Bowl again. It's not going to happen. It's time to cut ties and move on. Okay? Because if he's anybody else, you're calling for his job. I mean, people call for any other coach after 2-3 years. You don't win shit. You know, look, you go to the playoffs, who cares? Going to the playoffs in the NFL now is real easy. And look how quick a lot of other teams around them have gotten better. Look how quickly the Lions got better. Look how quickly Houston got better. Look how good Green Bay got better. Every team around the league has quickly gotten better than they have. And they're in the same fucking rut every fucking year. Shitty quarterback, defense that we think's good, but really isn't. Like, same shit year after year. At some point, he's got to be the scapegoat for this. And next year, it'll be another throwaway year. 8-8 or whatever how many games there are now, 9-8, and that'll be that.
I think the Steelers going to get Kirk Cousins.
We're going to end the show with you today. We got an hour with you or 45 minutes with you. We got a lot of NFL stuff. Andy Reid's in the mix of possibly calling it quits after this year. I just went on a little rant when Smitty was taking a shit, and I was like, listen, it's not conspiracy. It's not ironic. It's not by accident that a Belichick, Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Andy Reid all would say, fuck this, I'm out in the same year. There's a reason, and they don't want to coach these pussies anymore. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to call it what it is. Smitty will be mad at me. It is what it is. They don't want to coach these pussies. And the NFL is becoming a very unwatchable product. I don't know if it's going to change or not. We had Eric Weddle on earlier talking about it. But listen, I got to talk to your backyard first because the beast in the East or the yeast in the East or the least of the East, Nick Sirianni and Mike McCarthy were brought back. What is your take on both of these? Start in your backyard with the Eagles.
Well, you told me, I've told you, this team has been a collapsing tower for a long time. And I don't understand what next year or giving this guy a whole offseason. It was clear he wasn't able to do it in the regular season. This team had multiple opportunities to respond to their coach. They didn't. And then after the season, it's, we love Nick. He's a great coach. Well, you didn't show that over the last 6-7 weeks of the season. This team has a lot of holes, and it's not just a lame duck coach. They got to go out and get some coordinators, which they don't have. I mean, this is a team that's going to fire 3 coordinators. Think about that. Some teams fire 1. They're going to fire 3 because they failed in Sean Desai. Patricia's a complete asshole, and Brian Johnson's a mess as well. Throw in the fact that your whole fucking defense, outside of 1 or 2 players, is cooked. You got corners in their 30s. You got 2 of them. They got a lot of issues, this team. And look, if you actually thought they were going to go on the road and win a playoff game, I don't think you really know this league real well. how the fuck were they going to go on the road and win a playoff game? And look at what they were. They were embarrassed, missed tackles, blown coverages. They look lost. They look like a fucking high school team. I would have gotten rid of him. That said, I'm not a GM, but there's a lot of good opportunities out there too for a new coach. I don't get it.
I'm torn. He went to a Super Bowl. I didn't think he'd be fired a year later. I know they did Peterson after winning a Super Bowl. I get it. I think that Howie Roseman has to also save face in the community, because if he's a guy that goes around being known as the guy that just cut fuckers loose after a year, then there's going to be a lot less interest in the jobs that come open. So there's a lot to it. But having said that, Mike McCarthy, I actually like Mike. I think he's a great coach. He's an offensive guy that's really good. He coached Aaron, MVP and a Super Bowl. I think he's made Dak better than he's ever been. I think the coordinator they had that went to the Chargers, I always lose his name because I think he's a complete fucking idiot.
Kellen Moore.
He gets so much credit for I don't know what. But anyway, Herbert fell this year. The Dak Prescott was shitty last year. I think Dak made strides, but Dak is still Dak at the end of the day. So the question to you is this. You bring back Mike, cool. To Smitty's point, you can't bring both of them back. There's just no way that you can run this movie and rewind it again and start it all over for the community of the Cowgirls fan base and the fanboys base. How do you do this, and how do you get rid of Dak? Because I believe Dak is the sole issue, and he just doesn't have the it factor in the postseason to get you over the hump. Like, there's got to be something that you look at and say, all right, this guy's been through 3 coaches, and he continues to have the same fucking result. When is it the player's fault on this one?
Yeah, I mean, but then again, think about being a coach in that town with that owner. Very difficult, right? I mean, listen, I agree with you. I think you can make a strong case that Mike McCarthy's a way better coach than people give him credit for. I mean, if we're actually being honest, let's compare him to the individual we just talked about. Both have won a Super Bowl, right? Mike McCarthy has a better postseason record than Mike Tomlin. They have a similar winning percentage, right around 65%. I mean, I get, we hold Tomlin high. And listen, at no point did I say he's a bad coach. I think that Pittsburgh and that job, that's passed him by and he needs to go elsewhere. But I think we just assume Mike McCarthy's this dopey idiot. But in reality, and we could say, well, he had Aaron Rodgers. Who gives a shit? That was his quarterback, and he won the Super Bowl.
So he's the same to you as Mike Tomlin. He hasn't been back in 17 years, this guy. Very similar to you that Mike Tomlin is, you're saying.
I think that, look, Mike's a good coach. I think both these coaches are good. I think we overrate that they're bad or whatever. Look, Tomlin's a good coach. I think they've, as I said, passed them by there in Pittsburgh. But I think McCarthy, you probably give him another year. If he were in Philadelphia, and if I was a Dallas fan, I would say give him another year. I think you're 100% right. Dax looks significantly better. Look, they've had issues going to the playoffs and winning far before Mike McCarthy was there.
Mm-hmm.
This team hasn't been relevant in the playoffs in a real long time. So,
28 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 34. That goes to show. I mean, it's the 90s last time they were relevant. I don't know. I look at Dak, and I there are times where I really like him. Then there are times that I really don't. Is he just one of those average NFL quarterbacks? I think he's kind of what he is.
I think he just falls short when it matters the most, and that's what I really think he's a good in the regular season. He's a really good quarterback. I think he's above average. I think you could argue he's top 10, top 12, maybe. I have to do my list, but when it matters the most, for whatever reason, either he falls short, the team falls short, they both fall short. It's something about the spotlight that.
I also think, though, it was the result, who it was to, and how it happened. Green Bay's a good team, but they should not be going in there and blowing them out the way they did. I think that's why people are more irritated. Look, if it was 27-24, Cowboys lost on a last-second field goal, all right, fair enough. But, I mean, outside of that Eagle game, that was the most embarrassing result. We forgot about it because of the Eagles' embarrassment. But I think
they got their ass beat, Jeff. Like the ending score doesn't even really tell the full picture. It was way worse.
Because they came back to Cowboys,
right.
And I think that's more my issue, and I think that's where people's issue are. But no, if I was in control of the Cowboys, I'd have kept McCarthy for probably another year or two. I think he's a way better coach than people give him credit for. He's kind of dopey, and he hasn't won for a long time in the playoffs. But again, if you're going to give Tomlin the same credit, McCarthy's had a similar career, for being honest.
That's fair.
Would you, if you're Howie Roseman and Jeff Nadu just got the job and you're running the Eagles, would you swap Mike McCarthy for Sirianni?
Would I swap him? No, I would look elsewhere. I would have want like a Mike Vrabel, something like that.
But I'm saying if it's just those two, you would keep Sirianni over McCarthy?
No. If I had to do it, like if you asked me who would I rather have as coach, I would rather have Mike McCarthy as the coach, 100%. I think Nick Sirianni's a cringe fest, and I don't.
Micah Parsons hit the news. He also does podcasts during the games, it seems like sometimes. But anyway, he said that Skip Bayless is a hating ass motherfucker who's mad that he didn't want to do his show. And, Skip Bayless throws all his cowboy shit away. Listen, Micah does a podcast, and we know Skip's one of the biggest Cowboy fans and supporters. Micah does these podcasts all the time. I've come out and had this argument with Smitty about focus on the game, blah, 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 blah. Smitty's like, I understand what Smitty's saying. This is the new world. This is the new deal. Podcasts are huge. We're doing one right now, a show or whatever. So where are you at with Micah? Like, I, as an old school coach, and I get it. Listen, times change. I rather focus on the game, ball out, stop talking about doing something and just do it. Because you've lost. You got blown out by the Niners. You came out and commented about the Niners after you got blown out. To me, it's cringe. It makes it look really fucking crazy. And then you talk about players in the league, which to me is kind of bro code-ish violation. Like, I just don't think that was something Smitty and I, even at 30, Smitty would have not done at Ball State talking about a Miami of Ohio player unless it was – something worthy that he came out and attacked my family or something. Personally, we're not talking about players like that in this business because nowadays you know them more than ever. We're in a jersey swap era. Like, you're going to ask for his jersey in a fucking 2 weeks. Yeah. So, like, I'm confused as to why this is happening. I think the Cowboys are the biggest bust roster. How the roster is constructed right now, I think – we are fooling ourselves if we think that this team is just going to get over the hump. CeeDee Lamb's a no-show every single postseason. He drops more balls than any other receiver in the postseason. He's a bust, even though he can have 130 catches during the season. Fine. Guess what? Dak was also an MVP candidate during the season. He threw a pick six and another pick in the playoffs. Now, Micah Parsons is a guy who couldn't set the edge, who couldn't do anything in the run game, but he wants to do a podcast. He is soft in the run game. That's why the Niners ran it down their throat. That's why all these other teams like the Dolphins soft ass ran down their throat. I am trying to figure out why people think this constructed roster is some sort of an elite roster. It's not. It's a bunch of nobodies who are bust, who are highly paid, and I think overpaid. I think that they need to scrap this roster and start over it, personally.
Well, when it comes to the podcasting stuff, why one, but you look at the other side. Jason Kelsey does a podcast with his own brother. They don't cause waves with people.
We talked about that too, yeah.
They don't attack Skip Bayless. They don't quote you. Look, Skip Bayless is an asshole. I think in the Skip thing, I'm just saying he's.
I get it.
You get why he's doing it, but yeah, I mean, Kelsey's likable. I would have a problem if I'm a fan like the Cowboys, and a day later he's putting out a podcast. Yeah, but it's only a few people that do it. I mean, how many podcasts are there really?
It's a lot. But
ESPN Black, Jeff does have a channel. You can sub. Make sure you post it, Bailey, for us on the Kliff ticker.
Yeah.
So, look, Smitty defends Micah. He defends Kelsey. He defends all the podcasters. Everyone's doing it now because I don't know if there's going to be in 5 years Fox Sports, ESPN, mainstream media. I think it's all going to this. I truly do. I don't think it can sustain, especially Disney taking billion-dollar hits. I don't know if it can sustain, but we'll see. I think everyone's seeing it. That's why I think billionaires are making bunkers and shit, getting ready for whatever they heard about coming down the pipe. The same way, I think people that know what's going on in that business is getting ready, and they're getting out, and they're starting their own platforms. And I think that's what's happening. I don't know.
I think my one comment on that, though, if you do have a podcast, though, right, you can't only do shows and episodes when everything's good and you're winning, stuff like that. So, like, if you're going to do it, you do have to do it. So, although he lost and it looks bad, well, once you put yourself out there, it is what it is. So,
and that's why I like the Kelsey brothers. Their shit is just about like life and whatever. They don't come out and say, Debo, you got your chain snatched, homie. I don't care if you beat us by 40. Like, shut the fuck up. Just talk about sports.
And that's the difference, right? You just do your thing. You talk about football and life and whatever, and you're likable, right? Whether or not you like the Kelseys, most people like them. They're likable people.
Yeah.
I know for me, and Coach, I know you know this, a lot of people, you either like me or you fucking hate me. And it's because I am willing to get in the mud. I don't, I'm not one of these, like, even in the mob genre world, people fucking hate me because I'm not willing to sit there and work in the world you want me to work in. So there are people that are a little more to the vest. They do what they do, and they never have any issues.
Right.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Smitty. You got a question?
No, I'm good. Go.
Let me ask you this: this kid in Miami, to your betting connoisseur mind, where you've mentioned on this show, I mentioned over 2 years ago. I said I don't know how you can bet. I'm going to stop betting. I told McAfee stop taking my picks on College Game Day because I said when I was on his show, I said it's fucking too difficult to pick college football games now. With you have a new roster every semester, I said I'm done picking these motherfuckers. Well, Jeff's alluded to something similar in his own way, but how do you continue to bet when you got guys getting their 9th year in college football? And this is guys. Now this is it's getting to be a larger percentage, but it's a small percentage of things. But when in the bigger landscape of things, in the DraftKings, FanDuel, BetOnline, Prize Picks world, this guy, as Weddle said, took a scholarship from either a high school kid, a JUCO kid, maybe even 2 scholarships because of the portal, entering his 9th football season. There's a lot of roster construction that goes into a guy like this being brought back to their team, which I think affects the drafting, fantasy drafting, DFSs of the world. Because if you do this and multiply it by 100, Jeff, it's going to infiltrate the entire system. I think we're seeing it at an all-time high right now. And I don't know if you agree or not, but I think it's impossible to bet 17 to 25-year-old kids when they're this fucking finicky.
Well, luckily, this is not the norm, right? This is a big story because this is 9th year. Understand, he enrolled at Oregon in 2017.
16.
26. You're right. My apologies. That's crazy.
He got hurt 4 years, by the way. He got hurt for 4 consecutive years. That put him to 2020.
But I think that the thing is, like, what I don't understand is he's still getting older. There has to be an age cap on when you should.
I'm just telling you, Smitty could come out and play right now with this guy. Like, Smitty could go up and they could play next week.
I graduated 2016, so he will be.
But I've also seen in, like, BYU, like at BYU, these guys
like that forever.
Yeah, they'll go on like mission trips and they'll be like 23 and they're juniors.
So the NCAA only grants 2 clock stoppages. So clock means our academic clock starts when you enroll in 12 academic units in college. So once you enroll in 12 academic units, your clock starts and it can never stop. And you only get 10 semesters of Division I football, 5 years. Once your clock stops, never stops, or starts, never stops. So NCAA granted 2 stoppages. Mormon Mission, 1. So you go on, you start as a freshman. Let's say you play at BYU as a freshman, and then your Mormon Mission, you're not going to miss. You go on your Mormon Mission for 4 years. And then in fifth year, you come back, your clock stopped, and you're a true sophomore still with full academic reigns, full semesters alive. So that was one thing they did back years ago. Then they stopped it for Greenpeace. So if you went on a Greenpeace mission, some fucking third world country, and you gave back to Taiwan or whatever, you stopped your clock. Now, how many guys were doing that? I don't know, but that's the 2 stoppages they allowed for. Well, the third one came, Jeff, and it was called COVID. And when COVID hit, this kid in 2020 got basically another fucking 4 year. Like, what are we doing? This is 4 years ago.
What I find interesting is how old, like on the Miami website, they don't show his age. How old is this kid? 26?
Well, he enrolled at 16, so that was 8 years ago. Let's just say, and he graduated at 18. He'd be 26 at least, I think.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of age cap on how old you can be to play. Just like if you're in Little League, there's an age restriction on how long you can play. You have to be. Right. Remember, JB, back in the day, you guys remember this, when like the kids would fake their birth certificates and stuff?
Yeah, always.
Yeah. That kid for the Little League team, Almonte, he was like 16 playing with 14-year-olds. There needs to be an age cap on this shit because you're right. After coronavirus, that screwed it all up. 8 years, so 9 years is nuts.
Before we get to these NFL games, I want to get to college. We've been bringing it up for a couple of days. I think we're the only show that actually brought it up this way. I think the NCAA dropped the ball and missed a calculation, very, very critical one. Alabama's a team that went to the Final Four into the playoff. They made a deep run. They could have beat Michigan. They should have beat Michigan. They lost. Then their head coach, mentor, icon, Nick Saban, 40 years in, says, you know what? I'm going to retire. And he leaves the world of football. The NCAA had no idea that what was going to happen happened. In the last 48 hours or so, their team has basically been stripped of all big-time players. They've left the university because their coach left, which is a loophole in this hole the NCAA calls transfer portal. But yet all the portal kids, Jeff, have already been snatched because this team made the playoff. And they got to play further in the playoff. And the kids that were in the portal already have been snatched worth of shit. So there's no more people. There's no fish in the pond to get out and catch. So Alabama loses their coach, loses their team. And now a new coach has to come in and now bring players from University of Washington. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now Washington's going to be short, and the Arizona coach has to take Arizona kids and bring them to Washington. So now Arizona's short because Arizona's coach is from San Jose State. And what players at San Jose State can fucking play at Arizona in the Big 12 next year?
And now San Jose State is short, and now they got to fucking.
Yeah, you see the problem that they created? They don't want to really break down.
Well, but I feel like that's always been the problem, right? I mean, San Jose's always not going to get the same recruits and struggle.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have gone this way, though. It wouldn't have gone this way. You didn't lose a Pac-12 conference to the Big 10 and the Big 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, this is always going to be the problem. You're never going to have anything perfect, but you're right. It definitely puts these smaller schools in bad situations. But I will say this. I don't think anyone's truly going to feel real bad for Alabama. Oh, they don't get 20 four-star recruits. They get 17. Who cares? But you're right. If it's for the little guy, it feels bad. Though the people that will benefit are JUCOs, right? Groups like that are high level programs. They're gonna benefit. You would kill it, wouldn't you, Coach? Probably.
Yeah. To me, this is a whole thing. It's just exhausting. Like Weddle don't even want to talk about it no more. Like I don't. It's just really becoming exhausting.
This is why I just see what we have and gamble on it. I don't, it sucks. I mean, it would be rough to be a coach. It would be rough to do things. That said, Arizona got a good coach. That guy from San Jose is good. He's a good coach, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan, a good friend of mine. He's a good dude.
It seemed like everybody figured things out. Washington got a good coach, right? Alabama got a good coach. It all worked out for all the programs, I feel like. But
yeah. Bill Belichick is interviewing the second time for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't see the matchup, the meshing. I don't see the combination there, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, rumors came out earlier this morning that he tried to trade Mac Jones, and I got a text message a little while ago that the person he was trying to get was Joe Flacco for the remainder of the season, which makes perfect sense as to his thought process because Cleveland got a guy that did pretty fucking good. I think he led the league in passing yardage, touchdowns, and percentage in his 4 weeks. Let me ask you, Robert Kraft continues to meddle with football decisions, and I think that's why it was such a happy parting. I think Belichick was like, I have no beef. I'm gone. Bye. And I think Kraft was like the same way. Bye. Boo. I think this started happening a few years ago when people started to criticize, like we have on the show, the personnel that Belichick was responsible for on offense, no outside threats, no receivers, no blah, blah. But how do we know that Kraft wasn't vetoing things like this? Because obviously he knew Mac Jones was not the guy after he tried and tried and tried. Where you at with Mac Jones? Where you at with Belichick? And do you think he's a fit in Atlanta?
No, I don't think he's a fit anywhere. I think he is an individual who benefited largely from the fact that he had the greatest quarterback of all time for a long period of time. And now that he doesn't have that, well, look what we're starting to realize. Maybe he's not really that good, right? He's all right.
We're always going to disagree on that, but
I mean, I'm just saying. But no, I think you also have a problem with Kraft. He's he wants to be one of those owners, right, where everybody knows who he is. Everybody wants to make decisions. He wants to be Jerry Jones. He should just worry about doing whatever it is he does outside of football. Let the football people handle the football decisions. Mac Jones is done. We all knew that. I would have tried to get rid of him as well. But again, I think Belichick's an old school guy. He doesn't want to deal with that shit. Let me do what I do. I work with the GM. We make the team. You stay the fuck out of it because you're not a football guy. You're only here because you have a lot of money. That's why you're here. That's why I like the owner of the Eagles have. He's very he gets involved when he needs to, but he stays out of it for the most part.
Yeah. What do you think about RG3 and Jay Gruden beef on Twitter?
I haven't followed this too much. I get – look, I'm not the biggest Griffin III fan. He has some really outlandish takes a lot of the time, but Jay Gruden's pretty cringy too. So I don't really know – I don't know much about this. That said, by the way, yous are caking because of Smitty today. He should get a large percentage. In fact, probably all of the percentage of the donations. Very impressive.
Jeff, I guess, wants to have his last appearance on the Coach JB show with Big Smitty.
No, but tell me more about this. I don't know what's going on here.
Shout out to Jeff, man, my favorite guest on the fucking show.
What's going on with this? I don't know.
RG3 and Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden came out and said the way you're protecting, the way you're giving Jalen Hurts out route, side adjust and hot throws is unbelievably bad. So he was calling out Johnson and the Eagles on how they were preparing to defend the blitz and how they had to counter the pressure. And they had no answer for the Tampa Bay pressure versus their side adjustment and hot routes. And RG3 put like the eyeball emoji or whatever and was like, really? You're going to say that? And so Jay Gruden came back and was like, RG3, you just weren't good enough. Kirk Cousins was better. Cleveland didn't want you, and Baltimore didn't either. Quit blaming me. And then he told RG3 to go race a fucking bird or something. Go race a pigeon. They're going at it. Smitty thinks it might be a cloud chase on both parts, collaboration.
I will say, I hate when people say, oh, I know where the bodies are buried. Don't test me. Listen, either throw it out or shut the fuck up, all right?
That's how I am, because they both have bodies.
Yeah. Like, I hate when people say, oh, I could ruin you. Then fucking do it. Shut up.
All right. We can ruin each other. We all know stuff about you know what I mean? It's like, what do we do?
But what do they really know? It's like, oh, I did something 10 years ago. Who cares? Like, does anyone actually care, truly? Like, unless you're like a really evil person, nobody gives a fuck. Like, really. I mean, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
The bodies are buried. Okay, what?
What does that even mean?
You
Like,
with a chick or something? Like, unless you got real bodies, I don't really care about that. None of y'all got real bodies.
And what a pussy thing to say. It's like, oh, what are you going to tell because I had an affair with another? Like, shut up.
Right, you going to snitch? Yeah. That ain't gangster. Like, Jeff, you know real gangsters. That ain't hard. I'm going to tell on you.
But Robert Griffin is
Coach's lame.
Cringy. I mean, didn't he make a case? He made a really odd case the other day about oh, Deion Sanders should be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, just throwing out random shit just to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Let's break down this thing real quick. I think that the college football world will change in the transfer portal when a blue blood like Alabama just goes 3-9 next year. I think it's going to change some shit up because of how this happened when the kids transferred out and the new coach and all that. I think it's going to take a big time program like that to flounder for the NCAA to say, oh shit, can't have Alabama at 3-9. I think it's going to happen. I think it's on the way to happening. I think this is too far of a hole for DeBoer to come out of. I think it's easier to do it at Washington than it would be at Alabama this late in the process. So it's a bad time for Washington and Alabama to make a deep run. Washington going to a natty, and then the coach change. Like, it's the worst timing, because winter conditioning is now when you build your program, and I don't think Washington or Alabama is going to benefit from that. And I think we're going to see a change. I'm just being optimistic. One last thing before we get into the NFL picks, Smitty. LeBron James, who you and I both kind of came out and said his son could play for the Lakers. This motherfucker scored 0 points in 2 college games.
They will bring up the fact that he did score, I believe, 11 points the other night against Arizona, but he is still supremely not good enough. Listen, enough with this kid. Enough. Like, we've seen enough. And look, I get it. He had heart problems. Like, a lot of kids have heart problems. It is what it is. That said, enough. Enough with this guy. Enough with these stupid comments, LeBron. And we get he's your son. You're going to speak out for him. But you notice he's the only one saying this? How come no one else says this stuff? No one else says he's a great – listen, I follow recruiting. I know more about college basketball than arguably anybody on the planet. He's not that – he's nothing special.
I think his other younger brother's better, personally.
He's taller. Yes, potential's going to be higher. Yeah, right. For sure. But, I mean, listen, I just think you kind of hit the nail on the head. This is his daddy. Right. His father. Like, what is he supposed to say? Like, if God blesses me with a kid, trust me, I'm going all the way fucking in. Yes. Yeah. Whether it's the truth or not. So I can't be mad at a father for promoting his son. And Bronny's not saying anything. So I'm not even going to come down on him, because I haven't heard a word from Bronny. It's not like Bronny's out here promoting himself and saying, like, he's been pretty quiet.
I think the thing that Smitty, is, and this happens in every walk of life. Yeah. If you have a father that is a distinguished person and does well, you will likely do well too. It might not be completely earned, and he'll probably make the NBA. He'll get some contracts. Maybe he'll find a little success, but he's never going to have. And for him, it's difficult. I feel bad for the kid, right? That sucks that he has to live in that shadow. It's LeBron James, it's like Michael Jordan's kid, right? It's like you're never going to,
I feel you, but I got another angle. I mean, you can look at it that way and say it sucks. I think it's fucking phenomenal. No, I would love for my pops to be fucking Michael Jordan or LeBron, because my life is way easier. I don't give a fuck about nobody judging me. You had it easy. Yeah, I did. So what? Like, that's what you want. Every person I know who's like from the hood, who grows up and actually like, becomes a man and has a good life, they say, I want to create a life that's better for my kids. I don't want my kids to grow the way I grew up. That's the actual goal. But then we actually do that and provide our kids with a better situation. And then we joke and take jabs at the kid for having an easier life. It's like, which way do you want? Do you want them to grow up struggling and in the hood and running away from gunshots, jumping fences and struggling to fucking make it? Or do you want them to have a easier path and money put up for them to go to college, to do these things? Like, to me, it's counterintuitive. Shout out to all the people that's fucking making their kids' life easier. That's the goal.
Smitty, I'll tell you this. I never held any punches. I got a lot of things when I was a kid, right? Yeah. I made it very clear. I lived very well. Many people know that about me. But, my dad, I mean, he just didn't want me to grow up like he did, You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Just like when you have a kid, you will do the things that you didn't have, so your kid doesn't have to deal with that. Same with whoever. Yep. To belittle a person because their parents are successful, I've had to hear that my whole life. Oh, you know, I remember when I get dropped off at the bus. Oh, there's Nadu, you know, he doesn't have to work for nothing. You know, you don't know my dad. My dad made me go out and do, you know, I can't control who I was born to, just like most people can't. It's
right.
It's stupid.
Hey, this quarterback left Alabama today. One of the number one quarterbacks in the country. Alabama's losing everybody. It's getting crazy.
Oh, poor them.
Yeah, I know. No shit. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about them.
I ain't got no sympathy for Bama. They had just like when the Patriots struggling.
Yeah.
I ain't got no fucking sympathy. Y'all had a hell of a run.
You know what the crazy part is? Like, if this was before, 5-10 years ago, like these kids would this roster's still there intact, and the new coach comes in, and Bama's still in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Now, the way it is. Here's Alabama, Coach DeBoer's first meeting. It just showed this morning.
It's first.
But by the end, by August, they'll be just.
That thing.
That's fucked up. It is what it is, man. I think it is what it is. My bad, Bailey. It is what it is. I think that's where we at. Let's get to NFL. We got some 2 games tomorrow, 2 games Sunday. Very interesting ones, to say the least. Before that, though, an interesting coaches poll just released and hit the numbers, hit the internet. Playoff power rankings per coach. They have D'Amico ahead of Kyle Shanahan, his former employer. They have LaFleur ahead of McDermott. They got Todd Bowles last. Dan Campbell's moved up to 3 after his first playoff win. Shanahan, is he thought of a similar manner that I say about him? I'm trying to figure this out here.
Like, what's going on? Right. No. I mean, I think
I moved him around, Smitty. I'd keep Andy at 1. I'd have Harbaugh at 2. And then on the list, I mean, to be honest, you got to have, Shanahan at 3, right? I don't understand how this is.
Well, real quick. I mean, power rankings isn't the exact same as like overall who's the best coaches. I don't think it's like this season, who's hot.
No, it's just playoffs.
Power rankings move. Right.
No, they're just projecting the playoffs. That's all they're saying. It says playoff head coach.
Right, but remember, San Francisco didn't play because they were very good. So he should be above Dan Campbell. Like he should be number 1 in the NFC. Like that's crazy.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's get into it.
I also think Bowles is probably not the worst per se.
I think he's the worst.
Does he have a Super Bowl?
No, not as a head coach.
As a head coach.
No?
Let's get into this matchup tomorrow, because the most intriguing one, obviously, is the morning game, or the 1:30 game on the West Coast, the 4:30 game on the East Coast. Ravens, Texans. Eric Weddle played for the Ravens. He had a Ravens hat on this morning. He loves the organization, John Harbaugh and everybody else involved. He said that there's always a split, though, and there's always guaranteed a road victor in these first, second round wild card, second round regional game. Which one is going to get it done? Is it Green Bay or is it the Texans? These are 2 monumental feats, it looks like, from a standpoint of roster, configuration, what we've seen all year long. But then if you look at the playoff run that they're on right now, CJ's on a heater. Love is on a heater. They're playing with house money. And in my opinion, both teams are playing with house money. Has to be a very hard pick for a bettor and a guy that picks them so successfully like you do, Jeff. Where are you at this weekend? Let's start tomorrow with the first game, Ravens, Texans. I find this an interesting matchup. It's either Rust has to get knocked off with the Ravens for a half of football, which we can easily see. Texans on a heater, or the Ravens just come and smack you in the mouth. I don't know if the Texans come smack them in the mouth. I think it's a close game, or it's a trying to catch up for the Texans. Where are you at with this matchup? It's very interesting.
Well, a couple of things here, right? You go from winning a playoff game in a dome stadium, very nice and warm and good to go. Now I got to go on the road to very cold, very windy Baltimore against a team that is elite defensively. We all know that. What happened here?
Nothing. You're good. I got some film for us.
Oh, perfect. Okay, my apologies.
So talk through it. Talk through it. I got the Texans on offense, Jeff, while you talk about this matchup.
Yeah, I just want to kind of – and remember, we look back to one of the first games of the season, 25-9, Ravens cruised. That said, this is a much different C.J. Stroud than that one, right?
Right.
I just think that's really hard to do. Obviously, go on the road after getting the monkey off your back heel and winning a playoff game. You beat a subpar opponent. Throw in the fact that as a gambler, this number's not good enough. Like I want 10.5 if I'm going to bet this game. I want to have the 27-17 win instead of loss. I want to have the 31-21 win instead of loss. 9.5 is giving me no value to bet it as a gambler. If it's 9.5, I'm kind of at the point where I think the Ravens just kind of cruise defensively. They shut down the run just like they did in game 1. We know defensively they're better than the recent opponents that the Texans have faced. I think Stroud will play good enough, and there's nothing wrong with losing in the second round to the Ravens. We know how good they are. I just don't think if you like the Texans, you're not getting enough points here for me to be involved. I lean Ravens at this number. I think they kind of just cruise, dominate, do their thing at home.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe the first quarter will be tight, kind of like, JB alluded to, of course, for the rest. But after that, I think they'll get rolling. It's going to be loud in Baltimore. Lamar just in a different zone. Hey, baby, how you doing? Hey.
Right.
Thank you. So, yeah, it's going to be, I think they're going to keep rolling. The Ravens will be in the AFC Championship game, like I've been telling JB since the beginning of the season. And we're going to see that this weekend.
I will say I was impressed for the most part with how much they beat up a good defense for the Browns. That said, I think we all kind of knew that the Browns offense down the road wasn't going to be good enough.
Right.
But yeah, I think it could be close. It could be a 4 or 7 point game at half. The Ravens are just, as JB said, knocking some rust off. Then they just kind of get going in the second half and they win 31-17. That's just kind of how these teams generally go. They win a game and then they
transferring over, Mahomes is headed on his first road game in the playoffs. Show a little film, Bailey. We got Buffalo on offense here. This is what I think they have to do to the Kansas City defense. It's going to be they're shoveling snow again here in Buffalo. This is a game that I think Mahomes, I think, will actually struggle a bit. I think the Buffalo defense will focus on shutting down their only receiver that's shown any sort of consistency in the Rashad Rice kid. I don't know if Kansas City has any weapons other than Kelsey, who I think is fat and out of shape. I don't think they have any concerns. I think they're going to try to run the ball with Pacheco. I think they're going to try to do those things on offense from a Chiefs standpoint. But I don't know if they have what it takes. I really don't.
The Bills, remember though, the Bills dealing with a lot of injuries, like on that defensive side. I think their whole starting linebacker crew at the beginning of the season is out. Now, obviously, they've been playing with these backups, so they have the experience. But I'm just saying, it's not like they got some just loaded with dogs on the defensive side. So although the Chiefs' offense isn't that strong, which I agree with you, JB, I don't know if they necessarily have to be. You mentioned Rashee Rice, the rookie, looked really good last week. Last week. So, I mean, can he continue to do that? If he does, that takes off some pressure from Kelsey, opens things up for him. Pacheco, for me, listen, I am going to go with the Bills, but I'm not very confident. I'm not going to lie, because, I have to see the Chiefs lose. You know what I'm saying? They're always in the AFC Championship at least. Whether we love them, we hate them, no matter how we feel about it. Since Mahomes has taken over, I think they're literally always in the AFC Championship at bare minimum. I don't think they've gotten out the divisional round yet. I don't think. So it's it's hard to believe it.
Speaking of a game and a performer, Hilaire, this kid that came from LSU, highly touted, had a decent rookie year. He hasn't really done anything. Pacheco's clearly the guy. Hector, you're more of a DFS guy in the chat here. This guy has to show up, in my opinion, and give him another dynamic weapon, or they're going to focus on Pacheco and Rice, in my opinion. You could almost let Kelsey eat you up in the middle of the field, stop him in the red zone, and have success still, in my opinion. They don't have enough weapons, in my opinion, and it's It's not really about him on the road for the first time. It's just period. I don't think they have enough weapons to go against this Buffalo defense and this Buffalo team that's rolling, which is running a different style of offense, running the ball with Cook, doing things with Allen that he's not accustomed to. But as Jeff will eloquently state, which I've been on record stating, Josh Allen will fucking throw you out of the game in a New York minute with some fucking dumbass turnovers in the red zone, and the Bills struggle in the red zone. Yeah. I don't know where you are with this one, but I think it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, so first things first, I think Smitty made a great point about the injury situation you have here. It is a mass casualty unit for the Buffalo Bills right now, and that's really concerning going into this game. Throw in the fact that, as Coach alluded to, Buffalo actually is pretty good in the red zone, top 10 in the NFL. It's Kansas City that struggled.
I meant Kansas City and Buffalo's red zone defense. So I think Kansas City's offense is fucking atrocious. They resort to shovel pass and fucking try to get Kelsey the ball in the end zone. But
Gimmicks.
the Buffalo defense in the red zone, I'm curious to see that matchup against a team like the Chiefs, who have to manufacture offense with schematically using a gimmicky system.
Well, I think the Chiefs are incredibly undervalued defensively. I think we've seen that time and time again. They've shut down really good units night after night. And as Smitty said, they don't need to score that many points. Keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes has been an underdog 10 times in his career, only 10. And he's 8-1-1 against the spread. Throw in the fact that the last 3 games between these groups have been 6 points or less as far as I think it was a 3-point, 4-point, 6-point game. So it's going to be right around the number. If I can get a full 3 on the Chiefs, I'm interested. That's the way I'd go here. I think both the games we've talked about are very difficult from a number standpoint, but I think Mahomes is an underdog. He's just, to me, a bet on. I do kind of look at this game and feel like it's first to 20 wins. 45.5 as a total seemed a bit high. I could see this game being 24-20, 23-17. As you alluded to, weather's not going to be particularly good in this game. It's cold, it's windy, and there's 2 offenses that I think are going to have a little trouble against the opposing defense, particularly in the red zone.
News just broke as well at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and a snow flurry just hit, and the stadium in Baltimore is now drenched with snow as well.
Yeah, it's
well, Baltimore is definitely going. They might beat the Texans' ass now. Might be a blowout now.
Keep in mind though, and I want to just generalize this. It's supposed to stop snowing like by mid-afternoon here.
Oh, okay.
I think we'll be good. Tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny, as far as I know. So I think we've heard a lot about it's going to be so snowy and horrible. And
the games are clear.
Yeah. I mean, we have to remember they have, and I think this is crazy, guys. Why are billion-dollar organizations resorting to paying people $20 to resort to shoveling out stadiums? Doesn't that surprise you? Like
we already brought it up.
We talked about it earlier.
I've always been blown away by that.
I brought it up early, man. I just don't get it, and I would say no. You couldn't do it in L.A. L.A. people would say get fucked. You would never see a guy in L.A. go out and shovel show it for the Rams. You're making $20 an hour at McDonald's here in L.A. You're not going to go do that.
They might do it for 40 an hour, though.
Man, maybe.
No, but why don't you say to someone, like, we're going to get how many people to do this? Was it 200 people maybe? I don't know. Right. Whatever you have. Keep in mind, we're billion-dollar organizations. We can't put $100,000 into making sure our fans' experience, which, again, is the reason we are here, is as good or as close to as good as the people playing the game, which I get. You're never going to have that. But then what do you have in the stands? Throwing snow. You have rowdy people. You just – why not just make it a, enjoyable experience for everybody? I think that's crazy. I truly do.
Yeah, it is. Let's play some Hell Yeah, Hell No in the show, man. I got people in the back. I got some Mexicans in the back cleaning my hill.
They robbing your ass right now as we speak. They robbing everything.
My Mexican homies are my homies, man. Hell yeah, hell no. Mike McCarthy makes it through all of next season with the Cowboys. Hell yeah, hell no.
all of next season, hell yeah. They're not going to fire him in the middle of the season. I think they give him one more full year. If the Cowboys don't, make it to like the NFC Championship, in my opinion, I think they'll probably just move on. So I'll say, he'll definitely be there for the duration of the next season.
I agree.
Hell yeah, hell no. Cowboys find a suitor for Dak Prescott and get rid of him. It has to be a suitor. Jeff knows it has to be a suitor because they can't just cut him. He's got too much cap.
Well, listen, I mean, there's still going to be a lot of teams that would really be interested in Dak Prescott.
For sure.
It's a league.
For $60 million though, 1 year? I don't know.
There's just not a lot of good quarterbacks. Like how many good and I'm not saying he's the greatest or anything, but he's
good
really
though.
great.
Yeah.
Right. If Kirk Cousins can continue to find success throughout the NFL, Dak Prescott will as well.
I mean, I'm sure Pittsburgh would love to have Dak. I'm just saying, Mike Tomlin,
sure.
Fucking win 13 games with him, probably. You know what I mean? So,
hell yeah, hell no. Alabama will be a 6 or less win team next year.
Ooh,
wow,
why did he say 6? If you would have said 7, I would have.
Yeah, so you're talking about will they make a bowl game? Listen,
they're gonna be bowl eligible. Yeah,
it's January 19th. Obviously, they're not going to look like the same team that they did last year. But we have Kalen DeBoer. They'll go out and get a bunch of kids to come play there. It is Alabama at the end of the day, and there's a lot of kids out there that want to play football and that are very good at football.
I don't know if people give a fuck anymore. The kids do not care that it's Alabama anymore. Unfortunately, I'm just telling you.
Coach,
I don't think they give a shit. I think it's really I think they're like, Alabama's legit. Oh, really? They don't know.
Here's the good thing, though, Coach. There's a little thing about it's called money, and they have a lot of it. They have good facilities. It's a great place to play.
Ash, go lay down. Hell yeah, hell no. Cowboys make an NFC Championship game within the next 5 years. Haven't done so since '95.
Hell no. To the no.
You have to get rid of these guys that we're talking about there.
Yes, I agree. You know the side I'm on. Shit.
Hell yeah, hell no. Big Jeff. Eagles will fire Nick Sirianni before the season ends next year.
Hell yeah. I think surely. I mean, unless I'm really interested in seeing how they go from a coordinator route. I think they're going to go to like a Frank Reich and get him to come back and be the offensive coordinator or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You can't keep giving opportunities to these unproven guys that nobody knows. And the only reason they brought Sean Desai, right, is because they couldn't get Vic Fangio. So they said, we'll just take him. He's a disciple. He'll be fine.
Hey, speaking of that, though, Ohio State got Bill O'Brien to come over and be the offensive coordinator. I was surprised that the Eagles didn't come after him.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're the Eagles, maybe do you try to get the enemy to leave Washington? That could be interesting. I don't know. I would have went after Bill O'Brien, surely.
Latrell said we need the enemy. For what, Latrell? He had the worst offense in the East.
But I think the enemy would be.
Motherfuckers just be saying anything because we like a guy. Like this guy had a worse offense than Turner had last year for the Commanders.
Right. That is true. That is true.
All right. Jeff, we appreciate you coming on. It's Free Game Friday. Let's get into tomorrow's games. You got to give us your picks, though, for everybody. Packers, Niners on Sunday. Any shot at all in upset?
I think there's a shot. I mean, I think we haven't given enough respect to Green Bay. Jordan Love is really good. But I think this is one of the situations kind of like the game we talked about with the Ravens, Texans, where you have a young quarterback who has looked good, but you're coming up and stepping up a little notch, throwing the fact that you're going on the road to a very tough atmosphere against a really good offense. I think if you backed both favorites in those games, I think you'll do just fine. The only bet I actually made so far is the Detroit Lions. Anything under 7, I'm in. We have to look at Jared Goff against the blitz. Very effective. Very effective. And
you like the Lions, right?
Yeah, they're much more able to handle the blitz. You're not going to have the broken plays, the missed tackles like the Bucs got against the Eagles. throw in the fact that Detroit defense, it's not great, but it's solid. They're in that dome again. They're going to have that crowd. Goff and that offense have been so damn good. I think anything under 7, I'm very interested.
I like the Lions big on this one. I'm with Weddle. I don't know how good this Tampa team is. The NFC South was atrocious. They got to play an Eagle team that was just dying.
And that's you have to remember. Remember what we saw towards the end of the season? I mean, the Bucks barely got by the Panthers, right? I mean, for 9 points. I think that one gets ugly quick. That's the one game I've already bet. I bet it at 6.5. I like the Lions.
Yeah. If the Tampa Bay Bucks do stop the run, to Hector's point, I agree with him. Goff struggles when it's all on his shoulders. If Goff has to throw the ball 45 times, I see the Bucks having a shot at being in the mix of the game. But I don't know if they can stop the combination of Montgomery and Gibbs because of the dynamic nature in Ben Johnson's offense.
One thing to leave with, Detroit – number 2 in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage. Tampa Bay is 30th. That's a huge. I mean, you cannot be settling for field goals in games like this, and you're not going to get, again, the broken tackles, the missed assignments, the poor defensive stuff, not getting to the quarterback. Detroit can do all that stuff. So, yeah, I think Tampa Bay struggles. Guys, by the way, I just want to throw one other thing out there. You just don't have to deal with this because you live in sunny LA or the area around there. So I go out every day. I run. I get my work in outside. I took a real spill yesterday, man. I hit my head, man. It hurt, man. I'm still feeling it today, man.
Black ice?
No, it's just, see, out here, if you don't get the proper snow removal, it gets real slippery underneath, and then it snows on top of it. And there are these little patches where it's bad. I felt my head hit the.
Oh, you feel backwards?
Yeah, I felt
like that. You might need to go get checked out. I know you're trying to be tough.
I think I'm good. I mean, I don't have any memory loss. I didn't have anything like that. It just hurts.
Concussion, CTE, anything?
He probably got concussion.
No.
All right, Jeff.
You want to? I can hook you up with the Chiefs helmet guy.
I'd like to have a helmet.
It only cracks right here.
Jeff, what's 6 times 5 plus 5 right now?
35.
Okay, all right. I think he's
34.
The thing about it is, no, 6 times 5 is 30 plus 5 is 35.
I thought you said 34.
35.
What's your birthday?
I think what I'm going to do until spring is probably just run on my treadmill in my garage.
When's your birthday?
July 10th, like today.
When did Shedeur Sanders walk down the runway?
Which one? What am I referring to?
Shedeur Sanders walking down the runway in Paris for Louis Vuitton. University of Colorado, your near and dear alum.
Yeah, I
had
didn't
their
hear
first team meeting yesterday.
I didn't hear about that.
And the two spearheads
Oh,
and figure face of the show program, Shedeur
no.
Sanders and Shiloh were in Paris doing a runway
I didn't
walk.
see this. Oh,
You don't know about this? Do you think this is conducive to
I have swear to God, I have not
successful
seen this.
behavior
It went
in winning
viral.
a Big
It's got like
12
2 million
title
views on
and going
TikTok.
to a bowl game? I just want to know what you thought
You hear
of
my
the
voice,
construction
Jeff?
worker,
Very soothing.
Shedeur Sanders, and the camel wearing baby
ASMR.
oil, Shiloh.
Oh, no.
Boy.
Oh, no.
Put it like this.
Oh, no.
I definitely see why people hate Colorado.
Yeah. Now he sees it. He pulled his glass off, even though he has them still on. Wow, he finally gets it. Matt, is a major day in show history here on the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
You didn't know? You haven't seen that video?
No, I did not see that video. When I tell you my TikTok is, I mean,
Wait,
the algorithm
you
is
didn't
crazy.
know that Shedeur Sanders missed the team meeting and went to Paris and walked the runway for Louis Vuitton?
I had no idea. No, swear I didn't.
I was
That's a rough
surprised.
look.
I was surprised you didn't make a video by now.
No, I would have. I didn't see that. But that's a rough look, man. Yikes. Matt, hey, at least Matt's seen it.
Matt is seeing it. Matt's
Hey,
calling
look,
it
I have
out.
no issue with, like, I like fashion. Look at me. I'm in a fucking robe right now. That said, I'm not a high-level college player, and I shouldn't be on the run. It's like having the boat party. Remember Odell had the boat party? Like, come on, man. have some awareness. Like, let's not do that.
Hey man, go ice your head, bro. Please make sure you're good. Do not go to sleep with a concussion because that makes it worse. You'll be fucked up.
He already slept. So it did.
I want to make this clear. This happened yesterday in the afternoon.
Yeah, he would already be dead. He would already be dead.
Yeah, I think I'm all right. I just have a little. I think it's more my neck is just stiff. I probably slept bad.
Jeff would already be a vegetable, Smitty. So your $1 day late, $1 short.
By the way, to all my haters, I'm still as smart as I was. Don't think this is gonna hurt me. I still know my shit.
That 35 was pretty impressive.
Give me another one.
All right. What's 10 times 10 minus 10 plus 10?
100.
You a bad boy, Jeff. You a bad boy. You might be smarter now than you were before. Sometimes you hit your head and change the whole fucking construction of your brain.
No, that's my
You're
biggest
smarter now.
concern in life.
Get smarter?
No, is losing my mind. Because that's one thing these fuckers can't take from me is I'm just smarter than they are. I can retain knowledge like very few can. That's why I can do these TikToks on one take, right?
Yeah.
I don't do 2 takes. We don't do 2 takes here. Not in this household. We do 1 take. That's it. Smitty's a 2-take guy.
All right, Slapdick. We get it.
Right.
Hey, I'm out. We're out. We'll see you next week. Make sure you watch the weekend show. Follow Big Jeff on all things true crime and the Crime Pod. And make sure you follow him on YouTube, his new channel, and on TikTok. Nice. Big Smitty, we're out.
Happy birthday, Smitty. Take it easy.
Much
Appreciate
love.
you, man. Have a good one.
Down the like button, subscribe. Peace. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Anyone want to drop a last minute chat? Drop it in the chat for Big Smitty. Big Ash is here waking me, getting up. He knows
you got 10 seconds, y'all, to drop one last minute birthday. Get 10, 9, 8, 8.5, 7, 6, 5,
Big Smitty?
4, 3. Come on, Roberto and P. We're counting down. 2 and 1, man. Ash, we out. They didn't send it in, but it's good. We out. I'm about to go turn up. Let's get out.
Happy birthday, homie. I'll talk to you later. Peace.